Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some MLB action this Wednesday afternoon. The Seattle Mariners versus the New York Yankees. First pitch will be here in about 6 or 7 minutes. So let's cue the music. I'll pull up the thumb, and then we'll get into the starting lineups. Let's go, baby. We're trying to go for 3 out of 4. If we win tonight, maybe even a sweep. Can we get the brooms? We'll find out. Tonight's going to be tough, though. Lineup doesn't look nearly as good as the first 2 games. All right, baby. And on the thumb, we got Julio Rodriguez and Aaron Judge. Let's kick it off here with the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Seattle Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Tridents up, baby. Batting second, playing center field, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting third, DHing tonight for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing left field this afternoon, it's Demo Dylan Moore. Batting sixth, playing first base for Seattle, Ty France. Batting seventh and playing second base this afternoon for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. Batting eighth and playing right field, Mitch Haniga. And batting ninth, playing third base for Seattle, Luis Urias. And on the mound for the Mariners, it's Miller time, baby. Bryce Miller. Now, Bryce has a 3-4 record with an ERA of 3.08. Let's go, baby. We need plenty of Miller time tonight, and the goal will be 8 to 10 Ks for our guy, Bryce Miller. Let's go. All right, now let's get into the starting lineups for the home New York Yankees. Leading off for the Yankees, playing shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Batting second and playing right field for the Yanks, Juan Soto. There's been a big difference with Juan Soto in this lineup compared to last year's team. They feel a little bit more consistent, even though the Mariners have beaten them in the last 2 games. Batting third, playing center field, Mr. Everything, Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, left fielder, the former Boston Red Sox, Alex Verdugo. Batting fifth, DHing tonight for the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton. Batting sixth, playing first base for New York, Anthony Rizzo. Batting seventh and playing second base for the Yankees, Gleyber Torres. Batting eighth, catching tonight for New York, Austin Wells. And batting ninth, playing third base for the Yankees, Oswaldo Cabrera. And on the mound for the Yankees, Nestor Cortez. Now, Nestor has got a 2-4 record with a 3.56 ERA. Let's go, Mariners. I'm ready. Let's get it, baby. Let me get everything situated here with the volume. Very excited about this matchup here tonight. It'll give us an opportunity to possibly win 3 out of 3. And if we win tonight, we obviously win the series since we won the first 2 games. But again, this lineup is kind of a shell of what we were seeing in the first 2 games. So someone's going to have to come up big, or multiple people are going to have to come up big. Seattle Mariners, 6, 7, 8, 9 batters this series are batting .345 with 4 home runs, 8 ribbies, and 6 runs. So that was the lineup that we had, obviously, in Game 1 and Game 2. This lineup is slightly different. Don in the building. What's good? I saw that. Congratulations with the Cardinals sweep. And we only won 1 game out of 3 against the Orioles. So thank you, from one National League team to be able to beat up on one of the best teams in the American League, a team that we may see in the World Series this year, next year, or the following year in the Baltimore Orioles. It's very difficult to be able to beat them, whether it's at home or on the road. Congratulations on that big sweep. I wish we could have swept them. But again, we just weren't good enough, pitching, hitting, and obviously a little intimidating being on the road. Baltimore, they got the Ravens out there, and obviously the Ravens have been pretty successful with Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, right? But as far as the Orioles are concerned, they used to have some guys back in the day with Brooks Robinson. Then we ended up having the Cal Ripken era. But since then, there was a long drought, just like the Mariners, where we were waiting for a small market team like Baltimore to get good again. But when you got guys like Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman, that's enough said. So congratulations on the Cardinals sweep on the O's. Us Mariner fans and everyone in the American League said thank you. Let's go. Reflect in the building. Let's go, Ems, baby. Thank you so much for your support. And again, I was able to take Paisley to get her nails trimmed and a body wash. So, the groomer did the nail trim and the Dremel, and then I ended up washing her at the facility today. Ended up getting her a new retractable leash as well, since the threading on the one that I had was starting to go bad. And, I don't want Paisley to tug, and then all of a sudden, she runs away and it snaps off. So I appreciate that. Ended up getting some fruit for her as well. Strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, little container there. So she is very, very happy. She smells good. She looks good. She feels good. Thank you so much. And I'm ready for this matchup, Mariners and Yankees. And then here in about an hour in the East Final in the NHL, as well as the NBA East Final also, you're going to end up getting some matchups with the Indiana Pacers going against the Boston Celtics. And then also you're going to have the New York Rangers going at it against the Florida Panthers. So we'll see on how it all ends up, but I might end up flipping up that Florida Panther and New York Ranger matchup. I would assume Florida will win that series, probably in 6 or 7 games. And then tomorrow, since the Mariners are playing at 9:30 in the morning, we're not going to do that stream, and I'm going to do the NHL playoff game for the West, which will actually be the Edmonton Oilers versus the Dallas Stars. Dallas got past the Vegas Golden Knights, who won the championship Stanley Cup last year, as well as the Colorado Avalanche. So I'm kind of putting my money on right now, if I had to choose 2 teams, I'm probably thinking the Florida Panthers will end up beating the Rangers, maybe in 6 or 7. And I think Dallas has enough, even though they have kind of a curse with the Cowboys on the NFL side. I think the Dallas Stars are good enough to beat Edmonton in 6 or 7 games, but we have to play these matchups to see. And tomorrow, Dallas and Edmonton are going to go at it, and I'm going to do that stream, and then we'll be back with the Mariners Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's go, baby. John in the building. Let's go. Reflect in the building. Daniel in the building. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I mean, again, if I knew that I could get enough people, to come through, and I could get enough likes, enough possible subs, some good views, and I could potentially hit the goal on the donos, I would do a stream at 9 or 10 a.m. I don't have a problem of working hard or, waking up early. I already wake up at, 7 a.m. with Paisley and go on a walk, but I feel that that's a little early, so I'll just watch the game after my walk with Paisley, and then we'll end up doing the NHL playoff game instead. I believe that one will start around 5 o'clock Pacific. That'll be a little bit better time-wise. for me. And then we'll get into the Mariners on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, once we end up playing the Nationals. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready. Nestor Cortez on the mound. Bryce Miller for the Mariners. Let's go. This lineup isn't the greatest. You know, we got JP, Julio, Mitch Garver, Cal Raleigh, Demo, Ty France, and then you got Polanco, Haniger, and Urias. So I don't know, where we're going to get the run, production in the hits. But luckily, Demo and France have been pretty good. Polanco has been injured. Haniger hasn't been good. Urias hasn't been good. So in the 7, 8, 9 hole, it worries me a little bit. But again, Julio hasn't really been a factor either, and Garber has been a little slow. So if you're looking at this particular lineup, JP is just coming back from injury. Julio isn't really hitting home runs, but you can't really count on him every single game. Garber has not really been doing that much, consistency-wise. Cal Raleigh, Demo, and Ty France. So I imagine if we're going to end up winning this game, it's going to be a lot of heavy JP, Julio, Cal, Demo, and France. So we got probably 5 guys, 4 or 5 in the lineup that are going to carry the lineup. And then there's going to be another 3 or 4 guys where we don't have any expectations, but hopefully they do something. All right, baby, let's go. JP Crawford in the box. First pitch from Nestor Cortez. Pitches outside, 1-0 count. Let's go, Mariners. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Matt's getting done with his workout, and he'll end up being here momentarily, probably within 30 minutes or so. Pitches outside, 2-0 count. And let's try to be able to get to the 20 likes like we do on every stream and 100 in the donos. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Big swing and a miss for JP, 2-1 count. And it almost feels like a dream come true, when you end up playing a team like New York after only winning 1 out of 3 against Baltimore, right? And then you end up winning the first 2 games. It hasn't been easy, right? But we've earned it. And it just feels good when you can win in New York. I don't care who you are. I don't care what team you root for. When you can beat New York, when they're an average team or when they're a really, really good team like this year, it feels fantastic when you can beat the New York Yankees. Facts. Count is full, 3-2 count. Come on, JP. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You can do it, baby. Get back into that groove. Cortez, 3-2 pitch to JP, chops it foul. And it looks like Matt is just about to be in the building here. Let's go. Right. I don't know if we're going to get any runs in the first or second inning, but we might. I believe last matchup, in game number 2, was it the 3rd inning where Demo had the home run? So I don't know how early. I guess early means first inning for you, Reflect, right? First or second inning. So we might have to wait to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th. But yeah, I hope that we can get some runs and some good hits here in the first 2 innings. That would be great to kind of set the tone. But if they don't have anything either and it's 0-0, through the first and second, and then we end up getting a home run or an RBI in the 3rd and we take the lead, that's essentially, getting ahead of the curve. But not in the first inning, though. Next up is Julio Rodriguez as JP goes to first base off the walk. Big swing and a miss for Julio. 1-1 count. Come on, Julio. Let's go, my guy. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity to the lineup. We need it. I would love for you to be able to hit home run number 3 of the season here tonight. Big swing and a miss. Big rip. Still not seeing the baseball. I'm kind of maybe wondering, maybe Julio needs to get some contacts or something. How is Julio's eyesight? A lot of times people don't even recognize that their eyes are, not as good as they could be. I'm not saying that he needs to have LASIK or anything like that, but to be where he was in his rookie year and last year and then, this year, I know he's chasing, but he's always chased, right? Got to have a little bit more discipline and a little bit more focus, especially running the bags and defensively, because those 2 things never used to be a liability for Julio. It used to be a strength. And then now we're kind of feeling that, him fielding in the outfield and running the bags, pitches inside, 3-2 count. Some of the games, it's like you can't really rely on him. Maybe catching a foul ball, maybe catching a pop-up, but when it's like a grounder, there's always potential for errors, and you just need to have a little bit better awareness, obviously defensively and running the bags. Julio pops one right behind the catcher, foul, 3-2 count. Let's go. Matt in the building. What's good, brother? How was your workout? How's that weather in Maui? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let your boys know. Let's go. 20 likes, 100 in donos. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Three-two pitch to first base. Come on, Julio. I want this, baby. I want this. Trident's up. Cortez. 3-2 pitch to Julio. Ah, damn it. If you would have just not swung, it would have been a walk. And I think that, he has so much pressure on his shoulders, but again, I don't know if the pitching coach is working with him specifically. I don't know if he's watching film outside of the games. I highly doubt it, but I would just wish that at one point or another, and typically you get into your prime in years 5 through 9, right? And he's obviously a few years away from that point, but man, it's just not looking pretty in the box for a guy that's supposed to be a potential Hall of Fame player for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for Seattle, DHing tonight, Mitch Garver, 179 average, 5 homers in 2024. Let's get that average up to 250, my guy. Pitch is inside, 1-1 count. Let's go, baby. You've already had one of the most memorable home runs with that walk-off, to be able to get that victory. But we need more. We need consistency, baby. One pitch from Cortez. Big swing and a miss, 1-2 count. So obviously there's a lot of rumors on the MLB side, and supposedly Toronto is open to the idea possibly for trading away Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and they made a list of teams that possibly would be a right fit or a good fit or might be interested, right? And they have Seattle Mariners as number 1. But the thing is I don't want to trade away a lot of our young guys popped up to left field, 2 away. I don't want to trade a lot of guys, for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. if it's a rental. Like if we're going to be able to have him and then, for like a year and then he re-signs with the team for another like 5 or 6 years, then maybe, I don't know. I feel like I would rather stick with the guys that we have in the minors than try to reach for a guy that may or may not have good chemistry with us. And depending on how much we would have to give up, especially if it was a rental, I would say hell no. If it was going to be something where we would be able to get him long term, maybe I would consider it. But, I don't think we necessarily need Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but it would be kind of cool to have him in the lineup. But if that was the case, then that would mean that Harry Ford would be gone because Cal looks like that's going to be the catcher of the future. And they would probably be looking at some of, these other pieces, maybe a Ty France, maybe a Mitch Garver, maybe a Harry Ford in the minors, and I don't know if I would want to give up some guys like that. But like I was, watching a couple interviews and they were saying if Cal is the guy, Harry Ford's trade value might be the highest it's going to ever be like now. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count for Cal Raleigh. But with that being said, I don't want to give up Harry Ford, but we'll see what happens. Come on, Cal. Top of the first, 2 outs. JP at first. 0-2 pitch to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, big dumper. Cortez jams Cal Raleigh, popped up behind the plate. Nice souvenir for a fan. Count is still 0-2. Let's go. That's no problem, man. As long as you're just giving me an update and you're giving me a heads up if you're going to be late or if you got to go early, that's all I ask. Appreciate that. Right. And I think sometimes it's maybe like, a paralysis by analysis. Maybe they're digging a little bit too deep and they just need to get back to the basics. Just see the ball and swing, instead of, overthinking things, in the box. Anticipating it's going to be, a splitter, or anticipating it's going to be a forcing fastball and just kind of letting the game come to them. But I wonder if a lot of the players, are kind of overthinking things. But luckily, even though Julio doesn't have a whole lot of home runs this year, we're getting great production out of guys like Luke Raley and Dylan Moore. And I don't think anyone in the Mariner fan base anticipated that type of hotness, as well as Hollywood Josh Rojas, even though he's started to cool down within the last few games. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners and Yankees. Cortez to Cal Raleigh, popped up to right field, and it is drifting foul. Bouncing back to about the 20th row. Well, yeah. But again, you and me, I feel that, we don't talk out of our ass. We're very, statistical, analytical people. So again, we're not going to be able to do it. But I feel that if we're talking about sports, I feel that we have a better gauge on sports than most people, not necessarily just on this channel, but in general. We can recognize the talent even if it's not on our favorite teams, right? And that takes a lot because a lot of people are fucking biased, whether they realize it or not, for their favorite players and their favorite teams. But I feel like with you and me, I feel that we are two of some of the most non-biased people. And when you can have a non-biased opinion, you can really start seeing, greatness in the league that you're watching. Cal chops it towards third base, foul. All right, what has Matt got going here for us? 2 live games on Fox for Ducks. October 4th, Oregon and Michigan State. We'll beat the brakes off of them. And October 18th, Oregon versus Purdue. Well, good luck to those two teams. We'll mollywop both of them. Big facts. Big swing and a miss. There goes Cal Raleigh. I hope that we keep Cal around. I'd be devastated if we lose him. You know what I mean? Because, you can bring Harry Ford, to come in, but I don't think he's going to give you the same type of leadership as Cal. And I think leadership is one of those, categories that gets overlooked a lot. Building confidence, being able to talk to players and having them respect what you're saying, and being a team player. Not saying that Harry Ford can't have leadership and he's not going to be a team player, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but hopefully we keep Cal and Harry Ford instead of giving, one away or trading one away and then, only having one. I would love to have both on the roster. So, but we'll see. But I don't know if I really want Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because it sounds like we probably would have to give up way too much. And I don't know. And then also if it's only a rental, just like the whole Pete Alonso rumor, but that one got dead, obviously right away. But that one came out, about a month ago, that maybe Pete Alonso would be available on the market, but I don't think I would want him either. I mean, I get it. They're big names. Pete Alonso on the Mariners, cool. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the Mariners, cool. But what would we have to sacrifice to get this guy? And if it's only going to be for this year and they're going to go somewhere else, why would we do that? We want to be able to build a nice future in the minors so that way we can have consistent greatness and also have guys that can fill in for others when they get hurt, right? We want to have that good depth like we have in our pitching staff. So I don't know. I feel like we should just stay pat and don't trade for anybody, big name. If we can find someone for good value, before the trade deadline of bat, I'm okay with that. But I don't want to trade away the farm, for just like a 4-month rental. And I imagine you feel the same way, Reflect. Let them know. Let's get it. How much money do you think Cal's going to get? You think it's based on his defense and his home run power and everything? You think that he's going to get like huge money? Like how much money you think Cal's going to get? You think he's going to get paid like a top 5 or top 3 catcher? I mean, he is a top 5 catcher in my eyes. I guess if you haven't watched Mariner baseball, then you don't know. But, obviously with numbers, defensively, they were much better than even I anticipated, right? And, the power, it speaks for itself, and a switch hitter. But, like I said, I would, out of everyone on the roster, Cal is one of those guys that, is in my top, and I wouldn't want to lose him, but we'll see. No farms for rentals. You got it. Next up for the New York Yankees, Anthony Volpe. Let's go, Bryce. Miller time. Pitches outside, 1-1 count. And hopefully we can get a good performance out of Bryce. The goal is 10 Ks. If he falls short of that number, let's go for 8 or 9. And let's make it through 6 innings. Let's not get blasted with like 5 runs in the first or second inning. Let's go, Bryce. Pitch is low, 2-1 count. But we'll definitely be able to see what kind of swagger and what kind of aura and vibes, that Bryce Miller has. And you can tell within the first 2 innings based on how many Ks he has and if he's potentially going to have a big day. Because usually when Bryce is hot, he's going to strike out, 2 out of 3, in the first or second inning. Anthony Volpe to first, up a little bloop single, not the start that the Mariners wanted. Next up for the Yankees, right fielder Juan Soto. Soto with a little dribbler. No opportunity for a double play, but throw to first. Soto grounded out to the pitcher. Volpe to second. Next up for the Yankees, center fielder Aaron Judge. All rise. Court is in session. And hopefully we can limit the damage to Judge. He hasn't hit a home run on the Mariners just yet. And hopefully it's not tonight. And just as I say that, back, and there it is. I kind of had this feeling that he was going to go yard against Bryce, and there it is. Fucking A, man. He's going long. He's going deep. Over the wall. Gone. 2-0 Yankees. Fuck my life. I hate my ESP. Like, I just have these little moments where I'm feeling, you know what? Judge hasn't homered in the first 2 games. Bryce hasn't looked very good, in his last couple starts. This would be an opportunity for Judge to hit a homer in front of the New York fans. And lo and behold, son of a bitch does it. God damn it. 2-0 Yankees. They have a way better lineup than us in this particular matchup. I feel like we almost kind of copped out with this shitty lineup in game number 3. I was hoping that we would have a stronger lineup so that way we could win the series instead of going 2 for 4. Potentially if the Yankees win today and tomorrow, which is very, very likely with this particular lineup. But I was just hoping for a little bit more, lineup-wise. No Rojas, no Canzone, no Luke Raley. Kind of disappointing, but we can always, have those guys come in later in the game. But it's not going to help if we're fucking down by 8 runs. 2-0 New York. Nice homer by Aaron Judge. Next up in the box, former Red Sox player Alex Verdugo. God damn it, Judge. But, when you got a player that is, arguably the best player in baseball, not named Shohei Ohtani, at some point he's going to go yard. He's going to get you RBIs. I mean, I think in most people's eyes, universally, he's known as the second best player in the world, right? You got Shohei Ohtani as number 1, and then you got Judge as number 2. So that's tough. Miller, Verdugo. No fly zone. 2 away. Next up for the Yankees, DHing tonight, Giancarlo Stanton. Yeah, Miller has been struggling. George Kirby has been struggling. Like I said, even Logan Gilbert has been struggling. Castillo, struggled in his first 4 games, went 0-4, and has gotten a little bit better, but I still don't trust him. Like I said, the best one right now is Brian Wu. I feel like we trust Brian Wu, from what he's done his last 3 starts, right? But besides him, Logan Gilbert was the best pitcher for us, but the last couple starts haven't really been pretty for him either. So hopefully, Logan can get back to being Logan. Kirby and Miller can get some better consistency, and Castillo can be the Luis Castillo that we brought in Julio's rookie year with George Kirby and Cal in 2022. I want that Luis Castillo back. 2-0 Yankees. Consistency is key in everything in life, man, especially in baseball. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Should be a routine play here to Mitch Haniger. Oh, diving catch. Man, we've been making some amazing grabs with Dominic Canzone laying out Superman style like Soldier Boy fucking twice last night, and Haniger sliding down on his knees to be able to get that pop up there from Giancarlo Stanton. I love the defense. Let's go. All right, Aaron, I'll give you your flowers. All right, you get the logo. You get that logo. You get your own fucking logo. I gotcha. But no more homers. Okay, that was it. You got your 2-run homer. No more. That's it, baby. Next up, we got a guy that can get some home runs. Shit, he got 2 of them last night. It's Dylan Moore. Batting second, and a guy that has definitely been getting hotter as of late, first baseman Ty France. And batting in the 7th hole, who's been out for a few games, pending an injury. Hopefully he's 100%. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Hell, if Jorge Polanco and Mitch Garver don't get better, they might get sent down to AAA. And I know that wouldn't be necessarily ideal for 2 out of the 3 guys that we brought in with Luke Raley. But, I mean, if Hollywood Rojas or, whatever they got going, Demo, if they feel that those guys are going to be better in certain positions, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. We got to have the best players playing, and I hope that Polanco can start heating up. But Polanco and Garb so far have been a disappointment. But at least Luke Raley has exceeded the expectations, as well as Dylan Moore. And Hollywood Josh Rojas, even though, he's been a little cold as of late, but he was really holding it down for us for the first, 20, 25 games. Big facts. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I figured that he was going to be with us for at least a few more years, so. Megan in the building, what's good? Nestor Cortez on the mound, 2-4 record with a 3.56 ERA. It's like some guy that I met at the deli a couple days ago. Nestor, I see you, my guy. Don't be getting crazy. No 10K games, baby. Yeah, Demo. That's what I'm talking about. Go, go, go. Trident's up, baby. I like it. I like it. Yes, sir. As soon as the Let's Go Yankees gets in the building, we'll get a double with Demo. Let's go. I like that. Bring that electricity, Demo. Yes, sir. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Ty France. Let's go, Ty. How you feeling now? You feeling a little bit better, or are you still feeling a little under the weather, Megan? I hope that you're feeling better. Pitch is outside, 1-0 count. Come on, Ty, let's go, baby. Let's get on the board early. Cut into this lead, chip away. Pitch is high and outside, 2-0 count. Cortez will walk you too. And we might even have a couple guys get hit by a pitch tonight. So not on purpose necessarily, but sometimes the pitches will get away from Cortez, but I'm hoping that we can get a couple cheap walks, and that might end up leading into a couple RBIs from those guys getting on base due to Cortez being a little wild. Top of the second, 2-0 Yankees with an Aaron Judge 2-run home run. Well, I'm glad you're starting to feel a little bit better. Not 100%, but you're easing into it. And just as I speak about guys possibly getting walked, there we go. I like it. The sports gods are listening. Let's go. Sometimes you got to talk shit into existence, but sometimes I'll end up doing that, where I just see something like, I'm just kind of being aware, or it's like my gut feeling. Like when I mentioned, I thought that Aaron Judge, was probably going to end up homering today or tomorrow. And then literally 10 seconds later, boom, there it is. And, you're not going to be able to hold down Aaron Judge that often. So especially in a 4-game series. Next up for the Mariners, coming off the injured list, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Come on, baby. We need you. Trident's up. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go. We got runners at first and second. Appreciate the like and share, Megan. And if anyone else has got a Twitter/X, please do the same. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Appreciate Matt and Megan for helping out with that. And hopefully we can end up getting 20 likes on the stream, which we have been able to do as of late. So thank you to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Pitch fouled off there towards first base, 0-2 count. Let's take a look and see where we're at on the likes. Hopefully we can get to about 10 within the first hour. And we are at 8. So if you haven't smashed the like button, oh, there we go. A couple more people just did it when I just took a look. We're at 10. We're halfway there. Now we need another 10 before the game ends, and I think that's very doable. Let's go. And then we'll try to get for the 100 in donos as well. Congratulations. That's awesome. Especially when it's a job, going towards something that is a personal thing for you that you have experienced and whatnot. So that's awesome. Congrats. Shot behind the bag, foul. Count remains still 0-2 from Cortez to Polanco. Come on, Jorge. Let's go, baby. Top of the second, 2-0 Yankees. And there's normally something that I would say right now, but I know if I say it, then it'll happen, so I'll just think it. But hopefully the sports gods can't get into my brain of me thinking something. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is high. 1-2 count. Come on, baby. One-two pitch from Cortez to Polanco. Big swing and a miss. Struck him out. We'll give Cortez his flowers. I'll see you. Nice K there for Nestor Cortez. We're not haters here. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Someone that's overdue for a home run, at least at some point, either today or tomorrow. And we play at 9:30 Pacific time tomorrow. So hopefully Hanny can come up big here, at some point in this game. I mean, if he ends up hitting a homer here, we'll be at 3-2, but I'm not sure if I feel a home run at this at-bat. I don't feel that juju, as far as this at-bat. I hope I'm wrong, and he hits a home run right here. But hopefully later in the game, after he gets his bearings, hopefully we can end up getting a home run. But I feel like if Haniger hits a home run, it'll be like a solo dinger. But again, if you can get a 3-run blast, obviously that would mean a hell of a lot more for the Mariners, especially when we're down 2-0 here in the top of the second. We don't want to waste guys, on base. We want to knock those guys in. Cortez, 0-1 pitch to Haniger. Big swing and a miss behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Mariners. Let's go, Hanny. Dig deep, my guy. I mean, even just getting on base with a single, it would be great. I mean, RBIs and home runs are fantastic, but I feel if Hanny can get on and we can have bases loaded, something good could happen. Let's go, baby. 44 pitches in for Cortez. Golly. We're making him earn it. Pitch is high. 1-2 count. And I think if the batters, are just patient tonight, we'll get a lot of walks. Cortez will walk you. But again, if you're going to be swinging at garbage in the box, then he'll get those cheap strikeouts, and that's going to lead to a Yankee victory. So depending on how patient we are in the box in these counts, that might end up being the difference in this matchup. Because there's going to be that perfect pitch, if you can just be patient and wait, to be in a situation where it's like a 3-0 count, or if it ends up being a 2-2 count instead of an 0-2 count, more times than not, we're going to be able to find ways to get on base. And especially if it ends up being like 3-1, be patient. You don't have to swing every single time. Throw to second. Got him. Golly, what were we thinking there? Why is Ty France trying to steal a base? Strike him out, throw him out? That's like the worst thing ever. It's essentially a double play. I mean, obviously, it was kind of a run and gun type of play where the runners were going, based off the pitch count. But terrible timing there. Both runners went, on the pitch, and that was not good. That was not good. At least Haniger can play some good defense for us, but as far as his bat is concerned, you got to be able to step up, man. Go to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 New York. That was not ideal, leaving those guys stranded there. And I thought at first Ty was stealing. I was like, what the hell is he doing? But they were just running, based off the pitch count, both runners. So a little bit of bad luck on that particular play there, but hopefully we can still find a way to get some runs on the board before it gets too late. All right, let's see who's up here for the Yankees. Next up for New York, in the 6th hole, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Batting second in the 7th hole, second baseman Gleyber Torres. And batting third, catching tonight for the New York Yankees, Austin Wells. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, hit and run. That's the worst possible thing that could happen is a batter striking out and then throwing the guy out at second. And then obviously, of course, we had a guy that's a little bit slower. I mean, the same thing would have happened if Cal Raleigh was in that position. When you got guys like Ty France and Cal, that maybe could lose 5 or 10 pounds, even though they did lose some weight in the offseason. They're not the fastest guys on the team. And then we can't, rely on guys like Sam Haggerty because now he's out for the year. Obviously, prayers up to him in AAA with that Achilles tear. Bad luck for Sam Haggerty. I was hoping that at some point we would be able to get him back, in the lineup at some point, or at least, maybe being a rotational player like Luis Urias, where you might not be playing every day, Sam Haggerty, but once in a while, and we're not even going to have that luxury in 2024. Prayers up for Ham Swaggerty. All right, next up for the Yankees, 257 average, 7 homers in 2024, Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo chops it towards first base, foul. Like Haniger and Rojas were really, putting up some good numbers, early on. Obviously, Rojas much more than Haniger, but it seems like they were a little bit more dialed in. And then now kind of coming back to earth and, struggling a little bit. But again, baseball is one of the hardest sports to play. And again, it's not like we're going to be able to go out there and hit 95 to 100 mile an hour pitches coming our way. And especially with some of these pitchers having 3, 4, 5, 6 different pitches, I don't think people realize how difficult it is to hit a baseball. Even if there was only one pitch, even if it was just a 4-seam fastball, there'd be a lot of people that would fail. Popped up to Haniger. He can make that play. There we go. At least I don't think that he's a liability in right field. 1 out. There you go. Nice job, Mitch. Rizzo pops out to right field. Next up for the Yankees, second baseman Gleyber Torres, 223 average, 3 home runs, 14 ribbies with an OPS of 611. Let's go, baby. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's going to be the number. And we got to hope that Bryce only gives up maybe 1 more run while he's out there. And hopefully he can go 6 innings. Because if he ends up giving up 4 or 5, we're probably going to lose. Because then if he goes out and we give up 4 or 5 with Bryce, we're probably going to give up 1 or 2 with the bullpen, maybe more. So we need to make sure that, best case scenario, this is it. 2 runs and that's it. But this Yankee lineup today is like their lineup in games 1 and game 2. It's a desperation lineup. It's their strong lineup. So they pretty much threw all their chips in here today to say, hey, we're not gonna lose the series, or at least we're not gonna try to, and we're gonna try not to lose 3 in a row to Seattle. First 2 games were magnificent for the Mariners, and Yankees are coming out for blood here, and they have a better lineup. So, but I still think we have a chance. But again, we're going to have to find ways not to leave guys stranded, especially today. I got to give Bryce Miller a little encouragement here. Here we go. Come on, Bryce. Pitch is low. 2-2 count. Come on, baby. I want to see some Miller time, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, Bryce. I need Ks. Please. Nestor Cortez already has 4 Ks. Pitch in the zone. Got him. There we go. There we go, Bryce. You talk, you ask, and you shall receive. Mariner Moose comes out for that. There we go. But normally when Bryce Miller is on, he'll already have 4 or 5 Ks by this point. So obviously, has been a little struggling his last few starts. Hopefully he can ramp it up. There we go. Keep it going, Bryce. It's Miller time, baby. Let's go. Next up for the Yankees, catcher Austin Wells. We can get him out. He's not really that big of a threat. 205 average, 1 home run, and 4 ribbies. But as soon as I say that, what is he going to do? Probably do something crazy tonight. But this is, a batter that we should be able to get out, and a guy that could potentially go 0 for 4 or like 1 for 4. And he doesn't really have home run power either, so we'll see. But I don't want to jinx us either. Want to call it how I see it, baby. We're in the bottom of the second, 2-0 Yankees. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is low and outside. 2-1 count. And we're going to end up having the East final there for the Stanley Cup, right? We got the New York Rangers and we got the Florida Panthers. I think Florida will probably win that series in 6 or 7. And then tomorrow, we're going to end up doing an NHL stream. We're going to end up doing the Dallas Stars versus the Edmonton Oilers, and I think Dallas can win that series in 6 or 7. I'm not saying that New York Rangers are bad or Edmonton is bad, but just the way that I feel that the way the playoffs have gone for the Stanley Cup, I feel that we're going to have a Dallas Stars, Florida Panthers final. We'll see if I'm right, or maybe I'll be wrong, and maybe it'll be the Rangers and the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup final, but something tells me that the Dallas Stars, even though the Dallas struggles with the Cowboys, that this might be the year. I mean, you got past Vegas Golden Knights, who won the Stanley Cup last year. You ended up beating the Colorado Avalanche, and I think that both of the series could go 6 or 7 games. It's not going to be a sweep. All 4 teams that are left have played fantastic hockey up to this point. But goaltending will be key. But I got my money on the Florida Panthers as well as the Dallas Stars. And then who knows who would end up winning that. It could be very, very close. Let's go. Excited to do the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers tomorrow since the Mariners play at 9:30 a.m. All right, end of the second inning, 2-0 Yankees. Let's see who's up here for the Mariners. I feel like the NHL playoffs are going to be more exciting than the NBA, but I guess it just depends if you like the Boston Celtics and you're a fan of them or the Pacers, or if you're a fan of the Mavericks, right? If you're a fan of some of these teams that are there, or the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I'll probably tune in a little bit. I'm not going to watch full games, but I'll tune in, to both, and see what's going on. All right, next up for the Mariners, it's Hanniga struck out, obviously, on that fluke play in the last inning. Third baseman, Luis Urias. Batting second this inning, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. This would be a great game for Julio to do this. Aaron Judge did it. It'd be great for Julio to do the same. Let's bring that electricity, baby. Pitch is inside there for a strike. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. We go over this a few times during the stream. You know, again, addiction, depression, anxiety are things that a lot of people go through on the daily. So if you feel that you're struggling and you're going into the darkness, right, make sure you're making some positive reinforcements and some positive, good judgment calls in your daily routine. Exercise, eat better, hang out with friends, spend time with your pets. Making a little adjustment to your daily routine can help you win the day. Big facts. Come on, Louise. Let's go. Behind in the count 0-2 as that ball goes into the crowd. Come on, baby. Let's go, Urias. Pitch is outside and wild off to the backstop. 1-2 count. I know you were probably disappointed that the Vancouver Canucks couldn't get past the Oilers, but it took them 7 games to do it. That one I felt could have went either way. They were very evenly matched. But this feels like, to me, like possibly the Dallas Stars or the Florida Panthers could win it all this year. Not saying the Rangers and Edmonton aren't good, but it just feels like Florida and Dallas are the 2 best teams left. And I've watched all the way through. I've watched during the regular season, but again, with like Jake Ottinger in net, it's really going to be up to him. If he plays well, Dallas will end up winning the whole thing, the Stanley Cup. If he doesn't, then Florida gets past New York, then Florida is going to win it all. Sergei Bobrovsky, you got to look at, who's in net and obviously who's going to end up stepping up. But I am excited to see, and I hope that both series go 7 games. And I think there is potential for it possibly to happen. I don't see a 4-game sweep or a 5-game 4-1 scenario. Not at all. I feel that, like I said, it's going to be 4-2 or 4-3. It'll be 6 or 7 games, but I'm hoping for the sport fan in me, I hope it ends up being 7 in both. That way, if the Mariners have a day off, I can actually do, one of the games. 3-2 pitch, struck him out. Luis Urias. See you later. Give Nestor Cortez a little love. He's wheeling and dealing. Quit it, Nestor Cortez. Damn it. 2-4 record with a 3.56 ERA. That's his 5th K. Bryce Miller only has 1. Come on, baby. 5 Ks already. Jeez Louise. It's not like this lineup is very good for us. So, if he ends up getting 10 Ks, I don't think anyone would be surprised. Next up for the Mariners with a 194 average, just coming off the injury list, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's get back into the groove of things, my guy. Go, JP. I didn't, but if you have any new updates for me, please send them to me on Instagram, like in a message. I would love to see any other information on the Kraken or the Coachella Firebirds. Top of the third, 2-0 Yankees with an Aaron Judge home run a few innings back. 1-2 pitch from Cortez to JP. He fouls it back. So if you're just tuning in the bottom of the first, Judge homer to right, 374 feet. Volpe scored to give us the 2-0 Yankees lead. There we go, JP. There we go. Trident's up. Yes, sir. He had a oblique strain, I believe, on his right leg. Right oblique strain, I believe. But someone can verify that on Google or check it up. My memory usually is, not 100%, but I usually am pretty on, most of the time. But again, with all the different basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, news that goes in my brain daily, sometimes I'll be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Reflect would know. Yeah, and of course, I say, I think Judge is going to homer. And then, literally 1 pitch later, he homered. So, kind of felt like he was going to homer. He didn't homer in the first 2 games. He was overdue. Pitch in the zone by Cortez. To Julio, 1-2 count. Come on, Julio. Bring that electricity, baby. Trident's up. Let's go. 1-2 pitch from Cortez to Julio. Julio chops it foul. Nice souvenir for a fan there in New York. Count remains 1-2. Oh, it'll be on socials. If you just go to socials, it'll be on there. Bueller. But it's not going to be at this at-bat. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like if Julio's going to homer, it's going to be later in the game, like 6th inning or later. I just feel that he's not locked in right now, and like I said, he's going to have to, like Julio, when he's going to homer, it's going to be like when we have a lead, not when we're down or when we're tied. And there he is, he strikes out, damn it. Cortez with his 6K? Nestor Cortez wheeling and dealing. Looks like that guy that sold me that deli sandwich yesterday. I see you, Nestor. 6Ks for Nestor Cortez. Next up, Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. We need other moments like this photo. Come on, Mitch. But with that right oblique for JP, he was out for a long time. It was like over a month. So it wasn't just something minor. It was pretty serious, but nice to have him back in the lineup. Pitches inside, 1-1 count. Garv. Off the wall. Wow. We're getting so close for some of our home runs. There we go, Mitch. Hopefully that will rub off on the other Mitch, and he can end up doing the same damn thing. There we go. There we go. JP moves to third. Garver almost hit a home run there. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. And again, Cal's going to be better, hitting from the left side. But when you got Nestor Cortez, a lefty, he'll be batting from the right side. But Cal has proven he can hit home runs on either side of the plate. And he's a little bit more clutch than Julio, at this point, in 2024. Hopefully, Cal, best case scenario, he can hit a 3-run jack. But I would be completely fine with just getting an RBI to get the lead cut down to 2-1. We don't want to have 2 guys stranded again, because the more times that we have 2 guys stranded, we're not going to get to 5 runs. We need to make sure we're capitalizing as much as possible, not hitting into double plays, not having a fluke strikeout and throw to second for an out. Hopefully Cal can come up big here. Best case scenario, 3-run jack, right, to give us the 3-2 lead. RBI could make it 2-1 or 2-2. Just don't strike out, pop out, or ground out. Come on, Cal. Come on, baby. Come on, Cal. Cal is my boy. I love me some catchers, man. They're always going to be one of my favorite players because they remind me of offensive linemen. They just don't get the love and the recognition. And then when you get a guy that is a good defensive catcher, a guy that can switch hit, a guy that can hit for power, a guy that has leadership. Hell, Cal Raleigh might be my favorite player on the fucking team right now. I like a lot of guys on the team, don't get me wrong. But I really like, Cal checks off all the boxes. Obviously, his batting average could be better. That's one thing that you could say about Cal Raleigh, but you could say that about pretty much everyone on the team. But as far as clutch, he's the most clutch player on the Mariners. When we're down, you feel something good's going to happen with him more times than not. When we're tied or even when we're up. And I don't know if you feel that with anybody else. Maybe as of late now with Luke Raley and Demo, they give you that confidence like, Cal was giving to us early on. Cal chops towards third. Fuck. Throw to first. Got him. Another 2 guys stranded. Fuck. Damn it. Ay, ay, ay. Well, again, this lineup isn't the greatest. Polanco, Haniger, Urias at the end of the lineup. And even though you can't really count on Julio that much either, JP's coming off the injury. Garver's really not that consistent. So let's be honest, out of the 9 guys that we got batting today, the only 3 that we can kind of count on are Cal Raleigh, Dylan Moore, and Ty France. Now if Luke Raley was in the lineup, if we had a few other guys, Josh Rojas in the lineup, I think I would feel a little bit better. But 3 out of 9 is not ideal. You want to have at least, 6 out of 9, preferably 8 out of 9 or 9 out of 9. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll get better as the game goes on after Cortez goes out. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Yankees. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's see what we're at on the likes. Where are we at? Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. All right, we're at 12. We got a good start. We need 13 now. We need 2 more to get to 15, 7 more to hit the goal to get to 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. I'd really appreciate it. Lauren with the like and share on the Twitter/X. Appreciate that. Next up for the Yankees in the bottom of the 3rd baseman, Oswaldo Cabrera. Batting 2nd, 1-for-1 with a run. Shortstop, Anthony Volpe. And batting 3rd, right fielder, 0-for-1, Juan Soto. Wish Garv would have hit that game-tying home run. That would have been huge. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Yankees. I wish Bryce Miller had a little bit more consistency too, because like I said, I don't really feel confident in any of the pitchers right now. Yeah, I know that we got a top 5 pitching staff, but I just don't really feel, I can trust Luis Castillo, even though he started off really bad, 0-4, and he's been better, but I still don't trust him. Kirby's got the knee issue. Miller, I don't trust. Logan Gilbert was the best pitcher for the Mariners and possibly still is besides Brian Wu, but he has been roughed up his last 3 starts. So it's making me question him also. So really the only guy I trust is the 5-hole pitcher, Brian Wu, and that's it. And hopefully that'll change and we can get a little bit more consistency from some of these other guys that are studs. Yeah, I'm thinking that Russell will get the starting job, to start the year out, and then, then they'll bench him and then they'll throw in Fields after. Unless for whatever reason, they decide to go with Fields right out of the gate. But I think I would be a little shocked if they did that. But again, if they think that Fields gives them the best chance, the problem is Fields really can't throw. You know what I mean? He's more of a scrambler, right? Russ can do a little bit of throwing and a little bit of scrambling. He's not going to be anywhere near what he was on Seattle, right? And Obviously, there's going to be some weapons there. Volpe with a single right up the middle. But I imagine they'll go with Russ, for the first, like you said, 4 or 5 games. And then if they go like 1-3, or something of that nature, 2-2 or 2-3, something like that, or 1-4, then they'll bench him and then he'll be done. And then you'll have Fields play the rest of the year unless Fields gets hurt, and then Russ will get the job back. But I assume that they'll go with the guy that they feel can throw the ball a little bit more. The only problem is the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line is dog shit. So, and they don't really have a lot of weapons, on the roster. So it's like they got some names, but I got, you got George Pickens, but again, you have to have time to be able to get him the ball to be able to make plays. So I don't think it really is going to matter if it's Fields or Russ. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I would assume the Steelers will be a, 6 to 8 win team, something like that. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. So, especially in that division with the Browns, the Ravens, and then maybe Joe Burrow and the Bengals maybe having a resurgence type of year. I mean, he looks like Luke Skywalker now with the long hair. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen photos of Joe Burrow lately, in training camp. His hair, he grew it out. I mean, he looks like Luke Skywalker. It's wild, and if he has a good year, then, you'll probably have those 3 teams again, or maybe Cleveland will be left out. But you would assume the Ravens are going to be good. Bengals, we'll wait and see on Burrow's health, and then Cleveland. I'm not really big on Deshaun Watson and all, but again, Cleveland always is known for good defense as of late. So you might have 3 teams make it from the AFC North, maybe 2, but they could do 3. But I would assume the Steelers will finish in last. No matter who it is. Russ is not very good anymore. Justin Fields is not that good of a quarterback. Both of those guys are going to be ranked, probably somewhere between 15 through 22. I know some people will say maybe 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere in there, but again, I don't really see a whole lot. And now if they had an amazing offensive line, that would help out both quarterbacks, and if they had better weapons. But I mean, the best thing that they got going on that roster is obviously on the defensive side with P.J. Watt and company and Mike Tomlin. But I feel like Mike Tomlin, the message is kind of getting old. So even though that they've made the playoffs like every single year and had like a above 500 record, pretty much every year since he's been there, right? But I feel like when you're a coach and you've been there that long, I feel like the players don't respect him anymore. And I feel it just kind of goes in one ear, out the other. And again, if they get rid of him, they're not going to get someone as good as him. So I think that they don't understand like how good Tomlin is as a coach. But I feel like he's kind of worn out his welcome. I feel like they need to make a change. And maybe Tomlin can come to Tampa. I'll take him. Soto going back. Gone. Uh-oh. 4-0 Yankees. 2-run blast by Aaron Judge. 2-run blast by Juan Soto. You knew that the home runs were coming. Unfortunately, Bryce Miller is the one to give up both. Damn it! Nice job by Soto. Nice job by Judge. 4-0 Yankees. You got a pitcher that we don't really have confidence in. He hasn't played good as of late, right? We won the first 2 games. We have a shitty lineup today. Everything is pointing to a Yankee victory. Now, is it possible that we come back today? Yeah, but I think that, to just be, not biased and just call it how I see it, I assume Yankees, before this game even started, that they were going to win today and the Yankees are going to win tomorrow. Regardless if we have an amazing lineup or not, 9:30 in the morning is too fucking early for Seattle. These guys are just going to be wiping the crust out of their eyes, and they're going to get dominated, I assume, tomorrow. So I hope I'm wrong, but I assume that we'll split 2-2. We won the first 2. Yankees are going to win the last 2. So, well, we never said that we were going to sweep. We all said that we were going to go maybe 2 for 4. But if we won today, then obviously, going 3 for 4 and then maybe losing that last game. But, again, you thought they were going to win yesterday, and they didn't win yesterday, did they, Megan? We ended up coming, and bringing it, and we ended up getting that victory. So we got the big victory in game 1. Now they might have been mad in game 2, but we won, right? But now the anger is coming out, and obviously it's just, our pitching isn't good, right? And if you got a shitty pitcher on the mound that's not, really wheeling and dealing, and you can't hit, then this is what happens. You end up getting blasted with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd. So it's not over till it's over, but again, that's kind of the feeling. popped up. Aaron Judge, 2 away. But we only won 1 game out of 3 against the Orioles. And John was in here earlier, Sarah. Thank you for sweeping the Orioles. We appreciate that. And again, that's the first time that they have been swept in a series right before Adley Rutschman was on the roster. So it shows you how far, and how long ago it's been, how many series. It's something crazy, like 122 series in a row, and we appreciate that. And kind of shocking, but again, you guys found the right rhythm with the pitching and hitting, and everyone from the American League thanks you. Bottom of the third, 4-0 New York. Alex Verdugo in the box. Jammed him. Just foul. Yeah. But I don't think anyone could have predicted that was going to happen, because the Cards really aren't the greatest team this year. They've kind of had their struggles. The Cubs and the Brewers have been the cream of the crop in the National League Central. So, to be kind of like in the middle towards the bottom in the division, and then to beat one of the best teams in baseball that might go to the World Series this year, or ALDS, ALCS, and that hasn't lost a series in years, pretty impressive. Bottom of the third, 4-0 Yankees. Verdugo popped up. Should be a routine play here for Seattle. And there it is. 3 up and 3 down after that home run. Bryce Miller. What happened to the good Bryce Miller, damn it? End of the third inning, 4-0 Yankees. Plus, it's going to be hard enough to sweep any team in baseball 4 times. Hell, the Mariners or the Yankees or anybody, the Orioles or the Rangers or the Braves or the Dodgers. It doesn't matter who it is. To be able to beat another team, even if you're beating up on the Oakland A's or the Kansas City Royals or the Nats, even if it's like the worst, or the White Sox, like the worst team in baseball. Even with that being said, it's really hard to win 4 games in a row against even the worst team in baseball, just because pitching is so delicate. You're not going to be able to have the same type of pitchers each game. You're going to have a different vibe, and you don't really know who's going to get roughed up, who's going to have a good day, and then also bullpen and also hitting. So you could end up being the best team in baseball, like the Dodgers. You could play one of the worst teams like the White Sox, and that doesn't mean that they're going to win all 4 games. Now, could it happen? It does happen sometimes, right? But again, the way that baseball is nowadays, it's very difficult to sweep a team 4 games in a row. Now, if it's a 3-game set, that's a little bit easier to do a sweep in 3. But if it ends up being like 4 or 5 games, it's almost impossible. It happens, but it's not common. End of the third inning, 4-0 Yankees. Come on, Mariners. Now we just need to chip away here, and if we can end up getting 1 or 2 runs by the 6th inning, we're going to have a chance. Now, if we don't, then this one might get really fucking ugly, but I'm hoping that we can get something, and I'm really happy that we got this guy up. Left fielder tonight, 1 for 1. He's hot as hell. Let's go, baby. Bring that electricity. Timo Dylan Moore. Batting second in the order, first baseman Ty France, who's actually been heating up as well. And batting third, coming off the injured list, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Let's go, baby. Bring that energy. Timo pitch inside. We just got to get Cortez out. We're probably going to have to wait until the 6th inning, maybe 7th. And once we get him out, then we can start wheeling and dealing, and then it'll be a real fast and furious race where we can see if we can get anything in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and we'll see how many runs that we're down by at that particular point. Oh, was he wearing a wig? I could have swore that the shit was real, because I've seen him in training camp and he's wearing the bandana, and then they had the photo with like the training camp photo, unless, there's people playing around and they're using like Photoshop. But that's hilarious if he ended up wearing a wig or something. Yeah, I saw those on the news. Stay safe out there. How many casualties were there in Iowa last night? I know I saw that come up on the local news here in Oregon and whatnot. It looks scary. I saw some stuff on, Twitter/X and Instagram too. Some footage, some from some storm chasers and whatnot. Let them know. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to a hundo. Let's do it. Pitch is outside. 3-0 count. Come on, Ty. In there for a strike. Yeah, the only things that I've seen are training camp photos. I've seen him at training camp wearing the headband, and his hair definitely does look longer, but it was like kind of pulled back. And then there's a particular training camp photo where he looks like Luke Skywalker, where he's just like posing, with the uniform and whatnot with his helmet off. And his hair is like insanely long. But I don't know, if it's photoshopped or if it's a wig, that would be hilarious. But I assumed it was real. Double play. Of course it's a double play. Fuck, man. Ay, ay, ay. Leaving guys stranded. We only have 3 hits so far. I guess, the Yankees only have 4, but they got 4 runs based off 2 two-run home runs. In the bottom of the first, Aaron Judge homered to right, 374 feet. Volpe scored 2-0 Yankees. And then there in the bottom of the third, Soto homered to left center, 414 feet. Volpe scored again, and we're at a 4-0 score at the moment. And it doesn't feel like the Yankees are done just yet. Just wish we had a better lineup. I already knew the pitching was probably not going to be good today. But we'll see what our bullpen looks like after, once these starters go out. Next up for the Yankees, 0 for 1, DHing for New York, Giancarlo Stanton. Batting second, 0 for 1, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, second baseman Gleyber Torres. Yeah, Soto has been the X factor for the Yankees. That's really been that missing piece that they needed to kind of get them, to be a first place team again, in the division. He's been great for them. Facts. Ended up watching the series finale of Good Doctor. If you guys end up liking, Grey's Anatomy or like medical shows. And usually I don't get emotional and tear up, but I totally didn't realize that the show didn't get picked up for an 8th season. And when I ended up watching the last episode, that was the last one ever. And man, I haven't gotten that emotional in a while. Very, very good show. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. And obviously Grey's Anatomy is always going to be the #1 medical show. But I thought The Good Doctor was a solid #2. I mean, it ran for 7 seasons. It definitely could have went longer. I was a little sad to see that show end. Great cast, great chemistry, and they had their season finale that was on last night, and it was amazing. And obviously, if you have Hulu, you can check it out there. Little flip to first. 1 away. Next up, first baseman, the former Cub, Anthony Rizzo. Yeah. And obviously, Sean, did a great job with that show. And obviously, he played on, Bates Motel. He's been in a few different things, but I thought that show was like his best work. Obviously being a doctor with like autism and whatnot, and fantastic job. Like I said, I felt like they built that cast magnificently. And again, it gives you a little human element. It's not necessarily you watch those type of shows for the blood and the surgeries. You watch it to kind of see the human aspect of love and caring, and seeing people try to help other people and save their life, and try to be there for people and whatnot, and having that little human element. And I always like shows like that have good development and character development, but then it also gives you the feels where you can actually feel the emotion. And anytime I get sucked into a show, if it ends up being written really well and it's got a great cast, yeah, I mean, I don't go into the show thinking I'm going to cry or I'm going to get emotional, but it seems like certain shows that they'll do that to me. And then that one was a fucking tearjerker for me. Bottom of the fourth, 4-0 Yankees, 2 outs, 1-0 count from Miller to Torres. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. One pitch from Miller to Torres, which is outside, 2-1 count. And again, with like Bryce Miller and George Kirby, they're almost identical. When they start off the game and the first 2 innings, if they have like 4 or 5 Ks, that's when they're going to have a great game. But then if you end up, looking at Bryce Miller and you're in the 4th inning and he only has 1 K, you already know it's a disaster. Same thing with George Kirby. If George is only at like 2 Ks or 3 Ks by the 4th or the 5th, you know that chances are we're probably getting fucking rocked, unless we're getting some cheap outs with some pop-ups and some ground outs. But I just want to be able to believe in the pitching staff again. And right now, Brian Wu is the only one I believe in at this time. And hopefully I can get the belief back for the other 4. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Good inning for Bryce Miller. 2nd K of the night. He's like, here's another K for you, O-Dog. Thank you. Nice job, Bryce. All right, Matt, if you got to go, that's fine. If someone else can help out with the lead mod duties, I would appreciate it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, and then hopefully we get a few donos before the stream ends. Enjoy your family time, Matt, and hopefully we'll get someone to be able to fill in for Matt here for the last hour of the stream. Have a good one with your grandparents, man. I don't know. I'm just an old soul, I think I feel a lot more than the average guy does, Especially when I buy into the characters and the story and whatnot. You got the right music and the right scenario. Yeah, I mean, it's game over for me at that point. Let's go to the top of the 5th, 4-0 Yankees. All right, next up for the Mariners here in the top of the 5th, 4-0 New York. 0 for 1 with a K. Right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Batting 2nd, 3rd baseman, Luis Urias. And batting 3rd, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Come on, Haniger. I mean, it can't get any worse than it's already been in this game right here, right? We got to get someone going here. Someone needs to get like a solo jack just to, chip away at this lead. But we're probably not going to be able to get anything until Cortez gets out. That's how good he's been today. Throw to first, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman Luis Urias. Come on, Luis. Top of the fifth, 4-0 New York. Urias with a big swing and a miss. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the third inning. Starts off this at-bat with a big swing and a miss for Luis. Come on, baby. All right, talk soon, Megan. Oh, 1 pitch. Chopper. 1 hopper, throw to first. 2 away. Polanco's garbage. You haven't been watching the Mariners, Sarah. Not good. He's the worst one besides Mitch Garver. You know, Luke Raley has been the best pickup. Polanco's been terrible. He wasn't good. Then he got hurt. Honestly, I think Polanco needs to go to AAA. Yeah, again, you know, if you're not watching Mariner games every day and you're not here in the streams and, you know, you're watching your own Cardinals and on other streams, but he's been terrible. And Garver has had a moment where he had that walk-off homer, but he's been terrible too. Really, the only player that we picked up, you know, was, you know, good in the trade was Luke Raley for Jose Caballero. That was, you know, for the Tampa Bay Rays. Luke Raley has been the best one by a lot. I would say the other two have been a failure, but Luke Raley has been money. That one's been a solid A. The other two have been maybe D's, if we're actually being honest. Like, there's been moments for Polanco and Garv, but again, it's like, I can't have you play good once every 7 games. Like, how do you expect us to win games when you're not, you know, present offensively or defensively? You know, and that's just how it is. But again, you'd have to watch the games game in and game out to know that. 1-2 pitch. Chop foul. I wish that Polanco was awesome. I wish Garv was awesome, but, you know, maybe they'll pick it up as the season goes on. But Rojas has been the most consistent until as of late. Raley and Demo have been hot. Rojas has started to kind of cool down within the last, you know, couple games, kind of going back to earth, but definitely was the most consistent hitter, the only 300 hitter and above for us for the first 20 or 30 games, but hasn't been as good of, you know, as of late. Cal has been pretty clutch in certain moments, but, you know, we haven't really had a full team effort. Julio hasn't really done a whole lot. Polanco hasn't been good. Garv hasn't been good. You know, we've had a lot of guys that have underwhelmed this year. But with that being said, we're still 5 games above 500 in first place. So that says something. JP, little dribbler, throw to first. Got him. 3 up and 3 down. Cortez is wheeling and dealing. Nice job by Nestor Cortez. Let's go to the bottom of the fifth, 4-0 Yankees. Cortez, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks, but the walks have not hurt the New York Yankees. And let's take a look at Bryce Miller's stat line. Do we really want to look? I guess. All right, Bryce Miller, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Terrible. But hopefully it'll get better. See who's due up for the New York Yankees. Next up for the Yankees, catcher 0 for 1, Austin Wells. Batting second, 0 for 1, third baseman Oswaldo Cabrera. And batting third, 2 for 2 with 2 runs, shortstop Anthony Volpe. I actually think that if we had a good lineup like we did, you know, on Monday and Tuesday, as good as, you know, Cortez has pitched today, I think that we would have been able to put some runs on him. It's not like Cortez is one of the best in the world. I mean, Cortez is 2-4 with an ERA of 3.56. He's not 4-2, so it's like he's not unstoppable. But again, when you kind of have a shitty lineup, and then your pitcher and Bryce Miller, you can't really count on him, as of late. And this is the type of score that you get. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to obviously the next number will be 20,300. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then we're getting a little bit closer on hitting the 4 million view mark. That'll be the next milestone. We'll probably, I don't know which one we'll get first, if we'll hit 20,300 first, or if we'll end up hitting the, the 4 million view mark, but we still got quite a few views to get. Where are we at? We need, let's see, how many do we need? We need 44,000 views, a little under 44,000. And then, so that'll take a little while unless we go viral or we get some big numbers on some streams. So it's going to take a while. Hopefully we can get that number by the end of the year, or, sometime in 2025. But 4 million views will be the next milestone. Bottom of the fifth, 4-0 Yankees. But we have been actually getting some better support on the baseball side of things than in the last couple years. We're getting more people to sub to the channel. And it's not necessarily just Mariner fans. It's fans of baseball, which is nice. You're getting Reds, you're getting Yankees, you're getting Blue Jays, you're getting a nice variety of people. Of course, you're going to, get some of those people that are going to be trolling and, kind of being an asshole. And then we usually just, give those guys the boot. But again, I wouldn't really want to sub from someone that's just going to be attacking people in the room. I don't mind losing subs that way. I'd rather have people that have chat etiquette and that can be just normal, that we can have. So again, we probably would be, much higher sub count wise if I didn't ban so many people or boot them out. But I'd rather have peace in the room than have, 22,000 subs right now and have a bunch of chaos. So bottom of the fifth, 4-0 Yankees. Austin Wells in the box, 0 for 1. Bryce Miller, 59 pitches and a 2-2 count. And I know once the Mariners, continue to get better and better and better, then, there'll be more Mariner fans that come out of the woodworks, that'll be looking for, YouTubers to be able to watch the game with. But again, we just have to keep playing well. And I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, for us here on the channel. Little dribbler towards first, one away. There we go. Next up for the Yankees, third baseman Oswaldo Cabrera, 0 for 1. One pitch, fouled back, behind in the count, 0-2. We just got to be able to get out of this, slump here with these particular players going against Nestor Cortez, and then we'll have a chance. We'll have a chance, again, if we can get 1 or 2 runs in the seventh, 1 or 2 in the 8th, and then maybe 1 in the 9th, we just have to kind of chip away, but it doesn't look like we're going to get anything on Nestor Cortez while he's out there. Popped up. No fly zone by Julio. There we go. 2 away. Good defense out there by Julio. Nice job. Next up is Anthony Volpe. Come on, Bryce. I haven't been able to put up Miller time all game. That's tough. 2 Ks. Terrible, man. Fuck. But maybe things will turn around when we play the Nats. But again, the Mariners, and just like your favorite team or anyone's favorite team, if we play down to the competition, I easily could see us. I don't know. I haven't looked ahead. Maybe Reflect has, to see how many games the Nats series is after this. Is it 3 games? It wouldn't surprise me if we play down to the competition that we only win 1 or 2 out of 3 or 4 games. Like, we might end up splitting, with a team like that. Now, should we win all 3 and sweep the Nats? Of course. But again, sometimes when you end up playing a team that's much lower than you, instead of keeping your foot on the gas, you kind of ease up a little bit. And if the pitching doesn't get better and we play a 3-game set, it is possible that we only win 1 game out of 3 against the Nats, which would be absolutely terrible. I mean, it's almost as bad as getting swept by a team like that. But hopefully things will get better, and we'll actually have some decent lineups when we play them. Yeah, we got some good depth, but again, I think we just, we just need, more contact hitters, more guys that have consistency in the box. It's like we got a lot of guys that we can rotate here and there, and things would be much better if, Julio was actually Julio. Can you imagine what our record would be if Julio was at like 10 home runs right now and, 20-some RBIs and had a batting average of 300? Like, how many more wins would we have right now if Julio was sitting at 10 home runs? Maybe we would have, 5 more wins? And we would be like 10 games above 500? Something like that. I don't think that would be crazy to think. So, but we'll see. Hopefully we can find a way. But that's what makes it the most impressive. The pitching staff hasn't really been that good lately. Julio hasn't really been good all year. He's been getting contact, but not in the home runs. He's actually been getting errors in the outfield. Running the bags has been a little sloppy. Defense has been a little sloppy. And with all that criticism, and with all that being said, we're fucking first place. We're normally never first place. We're always 3rd, 4th, or 5th. So again, we just need to be able to analyze and critique, our teams and our players. But again, with everything that has happened, it's pretty amazing that we are, 5 games above 500, like 3 games ahead of Texas, and it looks like we're going to win the division or get 2nd place this year, and that's a great sign for the Seattle Mariner fan base. All right, we got a new pitcher. Time to rate. Here we go. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, Julio Rodriguez. And hopefully we'll be patient in the box and we can get a couple hit by pitches and some walks to get those guys on base, and then we can go from there. Top of the 6th, 4-0 Yankees. $1 holla. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. $1 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. What would you like? Mason Wynn? Appreciate you. 99 to go. Pitch is inside. 2-1 count. Garver, Polanco, JP, yeah. But then also, I don't think anyone anticipated Rojas, Rayleigh, and Demo doing what they're doing. So sometimes you can be pleasantly surprised, right? Wow, what a catch by Aaron Judge. Beautiful. Nice play. Julio says, damn it. Giving Aaron Judge a big smile out there. Next up for the Mariners, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Maybe Mitch can hit a solo dinger and get us off the fucking schneid here with a 0. No one likes to have a donut and see a 0 up on the board. Unless you're going to Voodoo Donuts, and then you can take all the zeros you want. Cubs and Brew Crew are pretty fucking good. Braves, Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers, and then obviously in the American League, you got Orioles, Yankees, Rangers, Mariners, and then Guardians. Even the Twins and the Royals are still playing pretty good baseball right now as well, but we'll see in the Central. Something's going to level out, and 1 or 2 of those teams will fade. between the Guardians, the Twins, and the Royals, but who knows who it's going to be. Pitch is outside, 2-1 count. My buddy just got off work. He said 4-0, O-Dog. Fuck. But I told him this morning, when I messaged him, and I always send Justin and Reflect the lineup card, but as soon as I looked at the lineup card, I already, kind of saw what potentially could be today. Throw to first, Garver, grounded out to the shortstop, 2 away. But it's not over till it's over, but we need to be able to find a way to chip into this lead at some point. 1 or 2 in the 7th, 1 or 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and then we'll see where we go from there. But again, we have to be able to start raking at some point. But at least Nestor Cortez is finally fucking out. And now Cal can bat from the left side. Maybe he can go yard. Cal chops it foul. 0-1 count. Come on, Cal. You're my boy. You're my boy, Cal. Yeah, John, you're a young buck. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. 216 average, 10 homers, 25 ribbies for Cal Raleigh. The old school voices were the best. The Harry Carey, the Dave Niehaus, the Vin Scully, all the old school grandpa voices, good storytellers. No one's going to be as good as Vin Scully. Overall, he was number one, but, a lot of guys, that got that old school grandpa voice, definitely that's great for baseball. I loved Keith Jackson doing Pac-10 games when I was a kid as well. Back when we had the Pac-8 and the Pac-10 before the Pac-12. I feel like grandpa voices typically are the best for baseball. It takes a special individual that's going to be under maybe 50, that can do baseball and be like really good at it. Wow, just foul. Yeah. And Joe is better at baseball than he is at football. I feel with football and Troy Aikman, they're okay, but it's not like fantastic. I feel, Nance and Romo are better. And then we're going to obviously see, a new lineup on Fox with Brady, doing the color. I think he'll do a fantastic job. It'll help with ratings. And, he's probably not going to want to be calling fucking Dallas Cowboy games every other week, but, that's what they cater to, on Fox and whatnot. But it'll be cool to hear the insight that Brady has with Kevin Burkhardt. I think that'll be a pretty good duo. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 Yankees. A couple Mason wins. Appreciate you. $1.99 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. All I got to take a peek to see where we're at on the likes. Hopefully we're getting close to 20. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's take a peek. Where are we at? How many more? Hopefully we've gotten to at least 15. We're at 17. All right, so if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, we only need 2 more in the room on YouTube, or people from Twitter/X to hop over to the YouTube and smash the like button, and we'll hit the goal. 2 more. And we still got another probably 45 minutes before the game is over. Very doable. And we're at a doll hair, 99 to go. Yeah, well, Vin obviously was before your time too, John. Since anytime you get someone that's under 25 years old, you're not gonna have a whole lot of experience unless you're going back and watching highlights of him calling stuff, or a YouTube video and whatnot. So Greg Olson, it's kind of funny. He ended up winning another award in back-to-back years. Back, gone. Well, that's just great. Juan Soto with another home run. 5-0 Yankees. Boo! Damn it. God damn you, Juan. And that's what you get out of Juan Soto. Nothing in the first 2 games. 2 home runs in game number 3. Bryce Miller. Boo! Damn it. But Greg Olson ended up winning back-to-back awards for, his performance on the mic. And then, he got a big pay cut because Brady's coming in, taking his spot. And, he'll still be calling games. I'm not huge on Greg Olson. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I watched him play and I've heard his breakdowns and whatnot. He's not really for me, but I think that he's decent. Again, I don't think he's like the best or anything like that, but I think that he's better than what people anticipated. I think that's fair. And obviously some people think that he's pretty good because he's winning awards, based on some of his commentary and whatnot, but I don't think he'll be better than Tom Brady. He won't be better than like Romo, if you're going to be doing color. We'll probably have quite a few ESP moments from Brady, and him being able to explain formations and strategies and things that only Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or some of the upper echelon quarterbacks will ever be able to share publicly with the fans. So I'm definitely looking forward to having him on the broadcast, and I think he'll do good. There's probably going to be a learning curve and he'll be a little nervous in that first season, but I think that they've already prepped him with Burkhardt, by calling games, that aren't live, just to get his voice and, to kind of get him ready. And they've been doing that for quite a while. So by the time when the season starts, I think he'll be ready. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss to Aaron Judge. Struck him out. Third K for Bryce Miller. Nice job, Bryce. Giving up too many home runs, my guy. It's Miller time. Sometimes the award shows, they get it right, but other times, it's kind of, oh, nice catch by Demo. Sometimes they get it right, but obviously sometimes there's favoritism. Just like, when you have any of the award shows, sometimes they have their own narrative, and whatnot on who they want to win and whatnot. But yeah, definitely excited to see the new beginnings on Fox. Megan with a $5. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I got you. 6 doll hairs, 94 to go. Appreciate you two ladies with the support. And Reflect coming up big last night. He was the MVP. Next up is Giancarlo Stanton. But it shows you, if the Mariners don't have good pitching and we can't hit, this is exactly what happens. It's like you got to have that, that solid, pitching. So that way the lead at this point is only like 2-0, and then we can crawl back. But again, if the pitching isn't there and we can't hit, then you get scores like this where it's not impossible, but it's going to be a big uphill battle in those last 3 innings in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, where you put a lot of pressure on the team to get 2 runs in the 7th, 2 runs in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. Again, we were able to come back from 4-1 or 3-1, and then ended up being 4-1, and we won 5-4, but that's not going to happen that often. Pitch is high, 2-2 count. But we did win the first 2 games, and I don't think a lot of people anticipated that. So for us to lose this game is kind of what I think a lot of us thought would happen. I mean, if you looked at who was pitching and who was in the lineup, big swing and a miss by Giancarlo. Struck him that. End of the 6th inning, 5-0 Yankees. And I would assume that the Yankees will win tomorrow, unless the Mariners can prove to me that they can win in the morning or in the early afternoon, but they haven't really proven they can do that yet this year. But I'm praying and hoping that we can play at least decent, where it's not like this, like 5-0. Hopefully it ends up being like a nice, 2-2 game, and then we'll see what happens at the end, and then whoever wins, but who knows? All right, let's see who's up here for the Mariners. Let me know what you want to do for photos, Megan. I got you. Kachuk with a goal. Yeah, I got Florida in probably 7 games, and I got the Stars beating Edmonton maybe in 6 or 7 as well. So I got Florida and the Stars. I got the Panthers and the Stars in the Stanley Cup final. I think that Dallas is good enough this year to, take it in 6 or 7 games, and I think Florida is the better team. I think the Rangers are good. I think Edmonton is good, but I just think Florida and I think Dallas are better at this point of the season. But they have to earn it, so we'll see. 1-0 Panthers. Yeah, it's still not over, though. We could still come back, but it's going to be tough. She said usuals with Aaron and Juan, pouring salt into the wound. I see how it is. Is that how it is? When the Mariners finally start losing? When we won the first few games? Megan's got her own file on my system here. Top of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Oh, there's a handsome guy. Come on, Demo. Let's go, baby. There we go. God, Demo is hot, 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 baby. My goodness. There we go. Nice job, Dylan. Next up, first baseman, Ty France. Demo keeps playing like this. He's going to be at 270, 280, close to 300 in a couple games. Let's go. Next up, first baseman, Ty France. Top of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Right. And plus, if you're Dallas, right, a goaltending, obviously with Ottinger has been hit or miss. In the last couple of years, it's been either been really good or really bad in some games, right? But if you can beat Vegas, right, even though they're not as good as they were last year when they won the Stanley Cup, and then you can beat the Colorado Avalanche, obviously they're battle tested. So I feel that, as long as Ottinger doesn't blow it and the other guys, can step up, they got a lot of good solid pieces that, maybe Dallas can break the curse and, bring home a Stanley Cup for Mike Modano and company. Top of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Eatley in the building. What's good? I hope we can get something, but again, we have expectations. We might have to just try to go for 1 or 2 this inning, 1 or 2 in the 8th, and then maybe 1 in the 9th to tie it. But again, we'll see what we get here. Struck out France looking, 1 away. God damn it. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Florida is really solid too, though. Like I said, I could definitely see like Florida playing Dallas and Florida winning in 7 or Florida winning in 6. Like, they're solid, and I feel that if we get Florida and Dallas, I don't know who will be the favorite, but, based off like the Vegas line, but it wouldn't shock me one bit if Florida is the favorite, even if Dallas is hot. Because I feel like Dallas is kind of cursed for their teams, But this Stars team ain't the Cowboys. They actually can win playoff games. Polanco, dribbler, double play opportunity. Only got 1. They've been good the last couple of years. You got, Sergei Bobrovsky, in net, Kachuk, they got some solid players. And again, it's just about getting hot and healthy at the right time. And obviously the Rangers were good this year, maybe overachieved, but again, I think their luck will run out, obviously in this particular series, and we'll see what we get with Edmonton and Dallas. That one I feel is a little bit more fairly matched, where it is possible Edmonton, or New York could win, but my gut tells me we're not going to get Edmonton and New York. And it feels more like a Florida-Dallas Stanley Cup, but we'll see. But again, if you can beat Vegas and you can beat Colorado, to me, Dallas is the most battle-tested team out of everyone that's left. So it's just about, can they keep that hot streak going? Can they play good in net with Ottinger and company? And can their stars, with Rupi Hintz and with Jason Robertson and Pavlevsky, all of them, can they all step up? And because like last year, they would only have like 1 guy out of 5 of their stars that would play well. And of course they lost. But if you can have 3 out of 5 play well, and then Ottinger can, play good in net, maybe this is the year. Kind of feels like it. And then at least the Dallas fans would have something to bandwagon about, because the Cowboys ain't going to do it. So at least they could have something that they could cheer about and be happy about. Top of the 7th, 2 outs, 5-0 Yankees. There we go, Haniger. Yeah, right past the third baseman. Runners at first and second. There we go, Hanny. Let's go. Hanny singled to left, Polanco to second. Next up, third baseman Luis Urias. We should make a substitution for him. I assume that we won't. Maybe they've just given up on this game. Luke Raley pinch hitting. Good. Got service. You fucking listen to me. There we go. Bringing in another hot hitter. Much better than having Luis Urias batting. Let's go, Luke. Luke can hit a home run. Luke can get an RBI. And Demo has been hot, but Luke has been just as hot. In the last 14 games, he's had 3 3-hit games. He's the only player on the Mariners batting above 300, batting 306. He's on an 8-game hitting streak, batting 455, 3 homers and 6 ribbies with an OPS of 1.242. 3 3-hit games. So again, with 1 swing, if we can get it to 5-3, we're going to have a chance. That would mean that we only need to get 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. More than likely, realistically, we're going to lose, right? But if Rayleigh can do something here, we will have a chance. Should have fucking had Rayleigh and Rojas playing today, and Dominic Canzone. Come on, Scott Service. I know you're trying to let some of these other guys play, but after we only won 1 game out of 3 against Baltimore, if you would have played a good lineup today, maybe we win 3 out of 4. Maybe we win games 1, 2, and 3, and then lose tomorrow because we're at, fucking 9:30 in the morning. Let's go. $10 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Cactus jack. Bang, bang. I'll get some more photos for Megan. We'll get some photos for Reflect once we go to commercial. I'll sprinkle in some for the 3 of y'all. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Luke Raley's got good eyes, too, like Demo. They don't chase like Julio. And that's why these guys have been on a nice little, hot streak. They're patient, and they'll wait for the right pitch to come at the right time. Julio can learn something from these 2 guys. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. But they're definitely seeing the baseball in the strike zone much better than a lot of the other guys on the team right now. Like, in all honesty, if I could choose 2 guys that I would want to hit for us, it would be Demo and Luke Raley over everyone. Check swing. He did not go. Bullshit. Okay, there we go. 2-1. And I got a chance to take Paisley to, the groomer today. Got her nails trimmed and dremeled. Gave her a nice body wash. So she smells great. Fur is nice and soft. Really happy. Raley pops it foul. 2-2 count. Come on, Luke. Ay, ay, ay. 2-2 pitch. Grounder. Shit. Not enough oomph on that one. Nice hustle by Luke Raley to run to first. Another thing that Julio could learn. Even when you think you're going to be out, run fast, run hard every single time. Luke is really starting to, I'm starting to like him and Demo, it's all about effort. And again, you got guys that are popular like Julio, but again, it's like, I don't want to see you taking plays off. And even though they might be lower name guys, Luke Raley and Dylan Moore, but I'm really appreciating the effort that we're getting, even if we're not successful. All right, what do we want to do for photos? Get a couple more for Megan here. Oh, look at that handsome guy. Appreciate you. Anything specific that you want to be able to see Reflect? David in the building, what's good? I believe they are. Again, it's one thing to be the underdog and to struggle all year and then get hot at the right time, overachieve, get to the World Series and lose. But now I don't think anyone thinks the Phillies are just lucky or got hot and healthy at the right time. You're always going to mention Dodgers, Braves, Phillies. Like, Phillies are always going to be up there. And again, normally they don't start, fast. And they definitely have done that for the first time in a long time. So, and I know that you were having problems with Trey Turner and whatnot. And again, sometimes you just got to give it some time. Not a lot of guys are going to be great early on in April and May. Sometimes they have to wait till June or July or August, right? But, right now, Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers. And then on the American League side, you got Orioles, Yankees, Mariners, Rangers, and then Guardians, Royals, Twins. So, I mean, there's a group of teams right now that are kind of separating themselves from everyone else, but it's still early. Maurice T? Who's Maurice T? Who is Maurice T? Kirby Snead on the mound. I need some more. I need a more clarification here. That way I can put up the right cue words here in the search. Oh, you haven't been watching games because obviously he has been coming up big. And like I said, him not being able to get a single right there doesn't mean he blew it. He's been the best hitter on the team besides Demo. So if you're basing it on one at bat and he blew it, then that's your opinion. But he's been very, very good. You need to watch more Mariner games, Eatling. Stop being a hater. He's been fantastic. Okay, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure that's what we were talking about. Rizzo, golly. Man, you might need to send Polanco down to fucking AAA. Bottom of the seventh, 5-0 Yankees. But again, if pitching was better and we had a better lineup, maybe the score right now would be 5-3 and we'd actually have a chance, or maybe it would be like, 4-1 or 4-2, but again, Bryce hasn't really been very good. Our pitching hasn't really been very good besides Brian Wu, Castillo, Kirby, Miller, even Logan Gilbert, our best pitcher up to the last 2 or 3 starts. He's even struggled. The only one that's been good out of the 5 has been Brian Wu. So again, if you don't have that pitching, right, and where we can hold guys to 2 runs or less, and then we can't score hits or runs ourselves, then you look up the scoreboard and this is exactly what you fucking get. We obviously won the first 2 games. The first one was an epic comeback. Probably should have lost that one. We took control and ended up winning yesterday. But again, we needed to have Luke Raley, Josh Rojas, and Dominic Canzone in the lineup today. You look at the lineup, it's dog shit. It's not good. I can look at a lineup. I mean, I do every game, so I can already tell, like, the vibes, But, again, JP just coming off the injury list. Julio, I can't trust you. Garver's been shitty. Cal, he's good, but he's not going to get you something every game. Demo's amazing. France has been good as of late. Polanco, I don't trust. Annie, still been struggling. Urias has been your ass. So, what do you expect? If you don't have good pitching with Bryce and you don't trust him, you're in New York, you only got 2 or 3 guys out of 9 that, are doing something, then this is what fucking happens. You're not going to be able to put up 5 runs with this fucking lineup. Not in New York. Torres, Julio is there. Plus, like I said, it's hard to be able to beat a team, 3 times in a row, or to be able to beat a team 4 games in a row. And you got to understand also, the Yankees are a fucking first-place team. They're 33-17. We're a first-place team, right? We're 27-22. So, it is what it is. They're 16-8 at home. We've given them their first back-to-back loss, at home all season. That was us, Seattle Mariners, okay? Luke Raley isn't a failure. We're actually blessed to have someone like that on the team with Demo. I can only imagine if we didn't have Luke Raley and Demo, what our fucking record would be right now. Wouldn't be good. Would be below 500. Bottom of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Runner at first, 1 away. Austin Wells in the box. Pitches inside. 2-0 count. Jimmy Rollins or Bryce Harper? What are you doing? Like a comparison? Like who I like better? Or are those your 2 favorite players on the team from back in the day and then now? Give me some clarification, David. Bottom of the 7th, 5-0 Yankees. Runner at first, 1 away. 2-1 pitch. In there in the zone for a strike, 2-2 count. Look at that stash. 2-2 pitch. Got him. There we go. Kirby Snead with a K. Come on, baby. Next up in the box is Oswaldo Cabrera. Come on, Mariners. Should be able to get an easy force out at second here. And then we're going to have 2 innings to try to come up with 5. Try to get 2 in the 8th, and we'll have to try to go for 3 in the 9th. It's right down the middle for a strike. Behind in the count 0-2. Who is the better player all time? Well, obviously, most popular, player will be Bryce Harper. One guy will be, probably, borderline or in the Hall of Fame. And, Jimmy Rollins was a stud when he played. But, I guess you would have to look at numbers and whatnot. But I would assume if you ask that question to most people, I would say out of 100 people, you'd probably get 90 that would say Bryce over Jimmy, without looking at the stats. But if you look at the stats, then you might be able to get a couple people going that Jimmy route. But you probably would have to do a different comparison, like Ryan Howard and Bryce Harper instead of Jimmy. A small player versus a player that's more, athletically gifted and whatnot. So, but I would have to, you got to look at stats and consistency and whatnot. But I think most people would say Bryce. Bryce is going to be the guy. But again, Bryce needs to win a World Series. Once Bryce wins the World Series, then there's no doubt that's Bryce. But, or you could be, Jimmy Rollins, Bryce Harper, or you could be, Mike Schmidt. There's a lot of them. 2-2 pitch into the dirt, 3-2 count. I got a couple old school Mike Schmidt starting lineups in McFarland. Well, we don't know because we don't know if the Phillies are going to win the World Series this year. We have to wait to see how this team plays out after the All-Star break. Are they going to do the opposite, be really good early and then shitty late? Or are they going to be really good early and then good late and then something special happens? So it's too early to compare, but obviously if you're going towards a team that, won a World Series or that was very solid back then in 08, compared to a team now, we don't know, right? We don't really know what this Phillies team is. If they're doing something that they normally don't do, start off fast. So we need to see, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? So, it's very possible that you start fast and then they fade late, or hopefully for your case, David, and the Philly fans, they start hot and then they continue that hotness all year. So ask me that question at the end of the year and then we'll see. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, 5-0 New York. Now at bat, Anthony Volpe. But Steve Carlton and Mike Schmidt, those guys are better than anybody that, you've had, even on the World Series teams or even on the teams that, that you have now with players. I don't think you can touch those two. Those are going to be like the main pieces. Carlton was one of the best left-handed pitchers ever besides Randy Johnson and Danny Koufax. And, Mike Schmidt, a Hall of Famer. So, if you got to watch Philly baseball back in the day, I mean, those were the guys. I mean, shit, I'm a Mariner fan, and I know that. Come on, baby. And what's Soto going to do? Hit a third home run? Golly. Halladay was a good player. I don't know if I would say he's better than Steve Carlton. You might get in some fights saying that kind of stuff with other Philly fans. It just depends on how old you are and how much baseball you've watched. How old are you, David? Again, it all depends on if you actually got a chance to watch the players play, or if you're younger, and didn't get to watch, some of those old guys. It's kind of, you got to be able to watch the players to make a comparison. Or it's like these people that say LeBron is better than Jordan because they're young and they're like 20 and they make a dumbass comment like that. It's like, if you've never watched Jordan and you think LeBron is better than Jordan, you just sound like an idiot. For those people that think LeBron is like the best player in the world, and the best number one player ever, Shit, Kobe was even better than fucking LeBron. So, but again, it all depends if you watched or if you didn't watch. Yeah, you're too young, bro. You're 29. You're too young. You didn't even get to watch Steve Carlton. So how can you say that Halladay's better than Steve Carlton when you never watched him? Come on, my guy. You're only doing it based on the guys that you watched, not the guys before your time. Pitches outside, 2-2 count to Volpe. But, I mean, if you're looking at the best left-handers of all time, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton. Roy was good, but I think I would probably be leaning more Steve Carlton, man. But, again, if he was before your time and you never watched him, then it would be easy to say Roy because you watched him. Yeah, but watching old VHSs is different, or YouTube highlights, than actually watching, when games are happening at that particular time. It's not the same. Foul ball, barely, Jesus. Plus, it's like watching, a couple of VHSs here and there. I highly doubt that you've watched like 200 VHS games of Steve Carlton. You might have watched a couple, that he's had there in the collection, maybe 5 or 10, but I highly doubt that he has, hundreds of, games that Steve Carlton played, You got to be able to watch it while it's happening to get a full evaluation. Otherwise you're going to have recency bias and you're just going to go for the guys that you've seen, And I think that applies to everyone, in sports. Again, if you end up watching everyone, then you can say, okay, I watched this guy. Back in the day, I watched this guy. And then, but again, if you're only watching the people in your time period, then it's kind of hard to have a fair evaluation, I mean, for me, it's like Magic, Bird, and Jordan are better than anyone that's playing right now, and it's by a lot. There's a reason why the best players, back in the NBA played in the 80s and 90s, and they're not playing now. The players that are playing now are soft, and they're not even in the same stratosphere talent-wise. Are there some good players? Yeah, but again, a lot of the players that are good now wouldn't be able to keep up, with the Karl Malones and the Charles Barkleys and the Hakeem Olajuwons. and the Magic Johnsons and the Larry Birds and the Clyde Drexlers and the Chris Mullins, and the John Stocktons and the Michael Jordans and the Scottie Pippens, that's just facts, man. If you go back and look in the 80s and 90s, they had more top 50 players in every sport than they do now. Hockey, baseball, basketball, football, everything. Again, they might have not had the technology, and the certain advantages that players have now. But if you're looking at overall skill set and talent, not even close. Bottom of the 7th, bases loaded, 2 outs, 5-0 New York. Jason with $1. It's good, my brother. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack bang bang, $1 holla. Appreciate you. Megan with a $5. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack bang bang. Appreciate the two of you. I'll get you guys some photos once we end up getting to a commercial break. Yeah, I mean, there's no defense. Everyone is a crybaby. They get a hangnail and they sit for 4 games for load management. Everyone shoots threes, including the centers. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, the NBA used to be my favorite thing. Now I can't even watch it. Even when it ends up being like the finals, it's like hard to watch. It's like I would rather watch NHL, NASCAR, MLB, AEW, WWE. Like I literally would watch anything than the NBA. And it used to be my favorite. So it shows you, I wouldn't be this way if the game was better, but, and if you had Magic and Bird and Jordan playing now, everyone's favorite players, Luka and fucking Giannis and a lot of these other guys, Shay, all these guys that are out there that are getting the pub and the love, Joel Embiid, these guys would not be talked about like, they are now. Compared to the guys that we had, Magic and Bird and Jordan would absolutely obliterate these guys. Now, would these guys be, decent? Yeah. Would they still make like an all-star, team? Yeah, but they'd be coming off the bench. They wouldn't be starting. They wouldn't be, compared to if you go back and you look at what these guys were doing in their prime, it's like not even close. Big swing and a miss. There we go. 5-0 Yanks. Let's go to the top of the 9th. And you can go back and look at anything. Hockey with Gretzky and Lemieux. You want to go with tennis with Andre Agassi and go to Pete Sampras. You want to go with golf with Tiger Woods. You want to go with WWF back in the day and WCW. Like literally, basketball, baseball, football, with Montana and Rice and Barry Sanders and Dion. Like, I can go down the list of these guys. And there's not many players that are playing today that can match up to the legacies of the guys that played in the 80s and 90s. You're not going to see another Wayne Gretzky that's playing right now in the NHL. Not even close. Not even close. Not even the same stratosphere, I mean, I don't make the rules. I just watch the games, But, you have more top-tier talent that will be talked 50 years from now that played in the 80s and 90s compared to the guys that are playing currently. Now, are there still great players that are playing? Yes, there are some great Hall of Fame players playing now. But again, if you compare it to the guys that played in the 80s and 90s, and even some guys that played in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, again, these guys have better technology and all this. But again, better diet, supposedly, But again, watching some of those guys, play in their prime, they would totally obliterate some of these guys that are playing now. Crosby is not even close to Wayne Gretzky. Not even close. Crosby will be a Hall of Famer, but at the end of the day, if you go back and look at all Wayne Gretzky's accomplishments, all his awards, and not just the goals and the assists, Crosby will be a Hall of Famer like Alexander Ovechkin, right? But not, to me personally, if you ended up in that era, you're not going to see another, probably Wayne Gretzky, just like Jordan. You're probably not going to see another Jordan, even with Montana and Rice and Barry Sanders and Dion and, even to this day, have we seen anyone even close to Dion or Barry Sanders? Or a Jerry Rice, honestly, Andre Agassi's and the Pete Sampras are do we actually have guys that are playing now that, some guys are kind of close, but again, it just all depends if you actually got a chance, if you were alive back then and got a chance to see, you got to be able to see everything. But again, if you're young and you're, like Jason or like David, and you're 29, like you've been watching sports since you were 5 to 10 years old. So you've only been watching for 10 or 20 years, compared to some people that are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 that have, got to see a lot more, Megatron was like the most dominant, but again, you got guys like Randy Moss, T.O., Jerry Rice, that normally are going to be ahead, of a Megatron. And, Megatron retired, maybe too early, but that's a part of his legacy, right? But I feel with like Barry Sanders' legacy, he played for 10 years, made 10 Pro Bowls, could have probably played another 5 or 10 years, right? But I feel like when Barry walked away, it solidified him as arguably the greatest running back of all time. There's not been anybody even close to Barry's skill set to this day. Not even close. You've had guys like Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, and they were great too. Gale Sayers, you go back in the day, but if you actually look at what Barry did with no offensive line, I've never seen anybody play like that. The guy's legs and the way that he moved, like we have never seen anyone in the NFL move like that since Barry Sanders, and we probably never will. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of T.O. Of course, I like Megatron more than T.O. Randy Moss took plays off, and obviously Jerry Rice is normally known as, the GOAT, at the wide receiver position. But, again, a lot of it is recency bias and, what you've seen recently or depending on how old you are. Not trying to take away from any of the current players, but the last time the NBA was good is when they had Kobe, Shaq, and Iverson. That was like the last era in the 90s where it was good. To me, in the last 25 years of the NBA really hasn't been that great. It's been kind of, and now TNT losing the NBA, the only good show that they had, right? And then obviously now with a buyout with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon, the last good thing the NBA had was that show, and now that's gone. Pitch right down the middle to Julio. 1-2 count. Top of the 8th, 5-0 Yankees. Yeah. You could be older, but also it depends on how much, film is watched, how many games are watched too. So, I mean, I'm not Northwest Sports Fanatics for a reason. Lots of reading, lots of film. Not saying that you don't read and you don't watch film, but there's not going to be that many people that are going to, based on my age and, where I'm at. But again, we could be, people that are 50, 60, 70, they could have, 20 or 30 years on me, but that doesn't mean that they've watched more than me. It just means you're older. It just depends on what you were doing back then. Were you into sports back then? Not everyone, is on the same level, sport-wise. There's different levels of fandom. Some people have been watching since they were 2 or 3 years old. Some people got into maybe sports around 10 or 15. And then also, it depends on how hardcore you are. Like a lot of the people in this room are very hardcore, right? Where we watch every game, and there's a lot of fans that only watch when they want to, or they're fair weather fans, or some fans not in this room might be bandwagon and they have bandwagon teams that they root for. So not every sport fan is created equal, as we know, right? There's going to be different levels of fandom. But definitely, if we're talking about 80s and 90s compared to the current state of where sports is, it's not even close. I wish that we could still have some of those players, especially to be able to show some of the young bucks, if they think that, Giannis and a lot of these guys are the best things in sliced bread, with some of these players that they're watching. And there's going to be a couple people that are the exception, like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Those guys are on that same level as the guys, in the 80s. In the 90s. But again, unless you're one of those type of guys, which is very, very rare, there's not going to be very many that are going to be able to fit the mold, Big swing and a miss for Julio. Sit down. God damn it, Julio. One away. Next up for the Mariners, DHing for Seattle, 1 for 3, Mitch Garver. Can we please get to at least one before the game ends? I don't want to end with a fucking shutout and a donut. I mean, I wish the NBA was as good as it was back in the 80s and 90s. Hell, I would be streaming NBA games, on the daily if the NBA was like it was in the 80s and 90s. Like, shit, if YouTube existed back then, oh my God. I mean, the type of talent that they had back then, I mean, it would have just been crazy to be able to live stream, while Jordan or Bird or Magic were playing, or when Jerry Rice was playing, or when Wayne Gretzky was playing. It'd be fucking bananas. Hell, I would have fucking done Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, and Tiger Woods, and we would have just all lost our goddamn minds. Like, I don't think, again, it just depends on if you watch. It's one thing to read and, or to, have seen a little bit, but we definitely were blessed in that era in the 80s and 90s for sure. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is low. 2-2 count. I mean, shit, even wrestling was better back then. Everything. Wrestling era, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, tennis, golf. The birth of the video games, the birth of the internet. 2-2 pitch. Stop foul off himself. Count remains 2-2. And again, I also feel that like a lot of the players nowadays, just like when Tom Brady had his interview with all of the NFL rookies, a lot of the, players coming in and a lot of the players that are playing now in the NHL, NFL, NBA, and the MLB, they're very selfish. And it's all about branding and social media. The internet didn't exist until 1995. And that was probably a good thing, because that there was no extra distractions. And I feel a lot of the players now are distracted, by a number of things, But I feel like a lot of them, are not focused on their craft. They're focused on their brand, on subs and views and how many Instagram followers they have and what kind of branding deals that they have, instead of actually trying to be the best player that they can be. Tell me I'm wrong, All right, another walk. Here we go. Time for Cal Raleigh to hit a 3-run home run here to get us to 5-3. What do you say? Let's go, baby. Reflect. Let me know anything else that you want photo-wise. Let me know. Got you. Megan, you as well. Jason, you as well. They're going to have the NBA on NBC theme come back, but who's actually going to be talking? Who's going to be a part of the shows, though? I mean, that might be the only good thing that NBA has is just the old school intro, from the 80s and 90s. I mean, it was probably one of the best intros to sports ever. Right. But again, it was special because of the players that they had back then, where you saw the video clip and it was Jordan, it was Bird, it was Barkley, it was Malone. Not the same now. These players in this generation are way too fucking soft. Not as talented. Soft. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. Don't make me hit you with the Enzo Amore and the fucking big cast. Soft. I got you. But luckily, past the steroid era, we've been blessed with guys like Ichiro and Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge So it's awesome to be able to see some guys like Ichiro, Shohei Ohtani, and Aaron Judge that definitely could play, in the 80s and 90s in that steroid era, 100%. But again, how many guys can you really say that about? There's a handful that could, but there's a lot that couldn't, But again, everyone was doing steroids back then. Thank God my hero, King Griffey Jr. didn't. I'd be crushed. Top of the 8th, 5-0 Yankees. Runners at first and second, one out. Cal Raleigh in the box. Come on, Cal. And it's always nice when you can get a once-in-a-generational type of player like Aaron Judge, like Ichiro, like Shohei Ohtani. It's exciting. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 count. There's a stud. There's another one. Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. You can do it. I feel it. Come on, baby. Come on, Cal. Cal's clutch. The clutchest player on the team. Top of the 8th, runners at first and second, 0-2 pitch. Oh, shit. Back, gone! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Cal Raleigh, 3-run homer, 5-3 Yankees. Mariners coming back, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Reflect. Fuck yeah. I know, I saw that. Very cool that Griffey is going to be riding in the pace car. And how about Kyle Larson? Qualifying for the Indy 500 and NASCAR Cup. Fucking sweet, man. Let's go, Cal. There we go, Reflect. We just need our clutch player to be clutch. There we go. Nice job. Just got to talk it into existence. And now we got Demo up and Ty France next. I feel we got to get Blanco needs to get substituted for like Rojas or something, but Demo can get on base here as well. I didn't expect us to get 3. I was thinking 1 or 2 in this inning, and then maybe 1 or 2. Obviously, 2. Now we're in the 8th. There have to be 2, and then obviously they got that extra fucking run instead of being 4-0. Now it's 5, but 3 here. Now I don't know if we're gonna get any more, but if we can get 2 in the 9th, who knows? Mariners like the rally. Big swing and a miss for Demo. Just imagine if we could have gotten anything prior to that. Like if we could have just gotten anything in the first fucking 8 innings prior to that. Even if it was just 1 run, then we're sitting at 5-4. But again, Cal Raleigh is always good for the dramatics. Top 3 catcher in Major League Baseball, Cal Raleigh. The future of the Seattle Mariners, and they better fucking pay him. You better be a Mariner for life. Damn it. Nice job, Cal. Top of the 8th, 5-3 Yankees. Yankees fans are like, oh shit, not again. Big swing and a miss. There goes Demo, which is a little unusual for Demo. He's been hot. Next up, a guy that's also been heating up, first baseman Ty France. Best case scenario for the Mariners here, we get 1 more run. And if we get it to 5-4, we can get a run in the 9th. And then we'll have to try to win 6-5 in the 10th, right? But this might end up being the final score. But it's nice to see the Mariners not giving up. It's like I haven't really seen the Mariners fight like this. Pitching sucked today by Bryce Miller. The overall batting order was terrible by Scott Service today. And then lo and behold, all it takes is one guy to have one good swing right after Nestor Cortez went out of the fucking game. And now we're actually in range of making an epic comeback like we did in game 1. Unbelievable. Cal, baby. My buddy's like, damn, we need to get some Cal Raleigh jerseys. I said, facts, man. I don't own a Cal. But again, if I do get another Mariner jersey, if I go throwback, Randy Johnson and Ichiro. But if I was going to go current roster, definitely Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. We got a chance, baby. Yeah, Ichiro teal would be fantastic. I think if I don't own a teal jersey. If I was going to get a teal, I would probably get Ichiro also, or I would get an Ichiro All-Star jersey. Like I was talking to you, a few weeks back, they have a really, really nice black Ichiro jersey. I think when the All-Star game went to Colorado, and I never bought it, but I bid on it, but I didn't win it. Big swing and a miss, but hey, the damage is done, 5-3, and now it actually looks like it's doable. If the Yankees don't score any more, right, we're going to have a chance. I mean, it's not a very good chance, but again, 2 runs in the 9th is a hell of a lot better than 5 in the 9th. So, again, and we have been a comeback kind of squad, so. No, I would get a Griffey and teal, but I don't own any Ichiros. I already have like 2 or 3 Griffies. I got like a gray Griffey. I got a salute to service, like a military camo army Griffey. I got some Julios. I also have a cutoff jersey in white. In my most expensive jersey that I own when Griffey wore it in '95. And it's like from like the Rawlings, like a Mitchell and Ness kind of quality. It's like a $500, $600, $700 jersey. Comes with the Mariner turtleneck, and it doesn't have sleeves. It's just like a vest, and it's amazing. But yeah, I would definitely get a Griffey teal, but I think I already have so many Griffies, even though he's like my favorite, my hero besides my dad. I don't own an Ichiro. I don't have a Randy Johnson. I would love to add. I don't even have an Edgar. I would love to add those, but again, I'm not in the ballpark. I don't have the money, to buy something like that. And if I did, I'd probably spend it on Paisley, instead of actually getting something for myself. I really haven't bought anything for myself in years, so. All right, we're in the bottom of the 8th, 5-3, Yankees. Who's up for New York? Aaron Judge. All rise. Him and Juan Soto have gone crazy. Juan Soto with 2 home runs. Aaron Judge with a 2-run blast. Hopefully we can limit his damage here. I got a lot of jerseys in the closet, but again, if I ever got rich one day, I would be, Ichiro in the teal, Randy Johnson on the Expos and the Mariners, Edgar Martinez, I would, rock that for sure. Probably get a couple Ichiros if I was rich, maybe every color, including All-Star, All right, bottom of the 8th, Austin Both versus Aaron Judge. Pitch outside, 1-0 count. I got plenty of Bucks and Ducks, Mariners, Blazers. Pitches outside, 2-0 count, 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run blast in the first inning to give them that comfortable 2-0 lead early on. Come on, Mariners, keep fighting. Pitches low in the zone. 2-1 count. Three runs in the 9th would be greedy. 2 runs in the 9th would be perfect, right? We haven't done anything all game, and we were blessed to get a 3-run, jack from Cal Raleigh. What are the chances of getting 3 runs in the 8th and the 9th? Not likely. So, 2 is not likely either, but again, a little bit more plausible. Get 2 in the 9th, make sure they don't get anything here, and then go into extras and win 6-5. That would be the way that the Mariners would win if we were going to win. I don't think that we would, we haven't proven that we can get 3 runs and 3 runs in the 8th and the 9th. Now, if we would have had Rojas, Dominic Canzone, Luke Raley playing all game, then maybe I would say we would maybe have a chance to get 3 and 3. Maybe. Small percentage and low percentage, but maybe, but not, maybe not with this particular lineup. Yeah, But what's more realistic? Getting 3 runs in the 8th and 3 runs in the 9th after not doing anything all game, right? And here you go. Another home run. We lost. The game is over. Alex Verdugo, homer to center, 7-3 Mariners. Now the game is over. You got too greedy, Paul. You came in here wanting 3 runs in the 9th, and they said, nope, sorry. And now you got too greedy, and now we lost. Thanks a lot, Paul. You could have just said 1 or 2, and we could have won it in 10th or the 11th inning, but you wanted everything. And now we lost. Fucking Paul. Damn it. It's over. We lost. Alex Verdugo, son of a bitch. That's why the sports gods, they hurt you, man. You know, you got greedy. You can't get greedy with the sports gods. You just got to take what they're going to give you, right? And just trying to tie it up and then winning it in extras would have been the way to go. But then Paul comes in here saying that we're going to get fucking 3 runs in the 8th, 3 runs in the 9th. He's not satisfied with us winning in the 10th, 11th, or 12th. He wants to win in regulation, even though we had a shitty outing with Bryce Miller and we couldn't fucking hit. And then the sports gods were like, sorry, Paul. Now the game's over. Thanks a lot, Paul. God damn it. Brutal. Yeah, because the sports gods fucking listen. They hear that shit, right? They hear it. They see it in the text. Now we're not coming back. It's over. Like dunzo. Fatality. For the fans. Oh, Haniger runs into the wall. Giancarlo Stanton tried to hit one. Well, I don't think it's not better not to say anything. I just think it would have been better to say, hey, let's just try to tie it up and win in extras. You know, but anytime you get greedy in sports, the opposite always fucking happens. You know? Paul is bad luck. Paul comes in here wanting the world, and then what happens? As soon as he says that, boom, home run, Yankees, game over. And then the Mariners are going to lose tomorrow. We're playing at 9:30 in the morning. We're not winning tomorrow. So now it's going to be a 2-2 split. I'd be shocked if we win tomorrow. I mean, again, sports gods, you know, I mean, we had an amazing comeback, you know, when we were down 4-1 and we ended up scoring 4 runs and winning 5-4. But, I mean, no one could have predicted that. Even the sports gods probably had a chuckle over that one, you know, saying that was probably one of the best wins the Mariners have had in their fucking existence. But it's not going to happen often. But, I mean, this is a first-place team going against another first-place team. And remember, we're on the road. We're not in Seattle. You know, the Yankees are a solid fucking team. Shit, the Yankees might end up making the ALCS, ALDS, or World Series this year, next year, or the following year. You could say the same thing for Seattle, too, but that's brutal. Horrible timing. Horrible timing. But again, you know, pitching has been terrible for us in this particular game. And it took a lucky, you know, Cal Raleigh, perfect pitch, perfect swing, you know, to get us to 3. But it just didn't really feel like we were going to win today. But at least it was exciting before Paul came in. I actually thought we might win. I thought we might be able to tie it, possibly. Not good. Not good. All Paul's fault. Everyone, all the Yankee fans love Paul. Mariner fans, not so much. Damn it. No, but regardless of what Paul would have said, we were going to lose this game no matter what. All jokes aside. It's brutal where, you know, when you have a team that's beating the shit out of the Mariners, and then you actually have something cool happen, like a 3-run jack by Cal Raleigh, and then, you know, you think that you actually might be able to pull it off, you know, and have a little bit of, you know, luck. And then a fucking big old blast. And of course it couldn't be a solo jack. It had to be a 2-run homer. 3 2-run homers today, and then a solo blast. Freaking A, Yankees. Well, Mariner players are definitely wondering what's for dinner tonight. Now, if we come back and we win this, or even tie it, I would be incredibly shocked. I mean, we can come back from 4 runs after that, because you got to think, you have to be mentally and emotionally, invested. And I guarantee after that home run was hit, half of the players have already checked out. Scott Service is already looking at fucking menus for dinner, But you never know. All my Mariner buddies. He said, "Yee, we're still alive." He said, "But it's going to be tough." Oh, and that Paul guy. Fuck. Damn it. Paul. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with a K, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, right fielder Mitch Haniga. And batting third, pinch hitting, you know who it is, left fielder Luke Raley. It is not Miller time. Damn it. He said I should be a Yankee fan now. Well, it's probably good for the Yankees to, get a dub and, so that way they can at least feel a little bit better after the shellacking that we've given them in the first 2 games. Again, the Mariners are the first team in 2024 to beat them in back-to-back games at home, or maybe even back-to-back at all season. I know we looked at that stat up, me and Reflect yesterday. I'm not sure if it's just back-to-back games at home or back-to-back games in general. And then tomorrow, we got Luis Castillo, 4-5 record. Started off 0-4, and obviously has been a little bit better since then. 3.28 ERA, 66 Ks to 15 walks. But we're going against Luis Gil. 9 starts, 5-1 record with a 2.39 ERA. That one might end up being a little bit lower of a scoring game, possibly. But again, it's going to be so fucking early. It's like 9:30 in the morning. And players are just going to wipe the crust out of their eyes. They're going to be up early. Their whole schedule is going to be off, having to wake up at fucking 5 or 6 in the morning, eating that breakfast. I pray and hope for the day where the Mariners are awesome in the morning and the early afternoon. I mean, maybe when we are awesome in the morning and awesome at noon and 1, maybe that'll be the team that makes the World Series. But, But there is still a chance that we win tomorrow, and if we win tomorrow, that's 3 out of 4. So, but if the Yankees win, it's 2 wins, 2 losses. But again, Scott Service didn't really do us any favors with this lineup. This was one of the worst lineups that I've seen, and the Yankees had an A lineup. The Mariners had a D lineup, and they had a pitcher that's been reeling. So, in all honesty and fairness, the Yankees should have won this game. Based on who we had playing today. I didn't see any scenario of us winning today. As soon as I saw the lineup card, I was like, we're not winning today. But, both the Yankees and Mariners weren't very good last year. So it's nice to be able to see both of these teams in first place. Reflect, what's the status on the other teams in the division? What's it looking like for the Rangers and the Astros and whatnot? Obviously Astros are at the bottom, so we don't really care about them. But is Texas playing today? Did they play today? What are we looking at? Hopefully they lost too, so we can still have a 3-game lead on them. When we're 5 games above 500, which is something that we haven't done since like 2003. So it's been a long time. That we've had a record like this early in the season. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count to Polanco. Yeah, Miller, like I said, I don't trust Kirby. I don't trust Miller. I don't trust Castillo. I even don't trust Gilbert anymore. The only one I trust is Brian Wu. But but there's going to be a point where he gets fucking rocked for, 5 to 10 runs, and then we'll have to see what he does after he gets rocked. But right now, I mean, we only have, one, pitcher that we can count on. And then again, we have to have an A lineup against a team like this. We can't have a D lineup and think that, we got a guy that's been reeling at pitcher, and then we have a D lineup and we won the first 2 games in the series. And then the Yankees have an A pitcher and an A lineup, and then thinking that we're just going to, keep the Uncle Mo going, So I didn't see any scenario of us winning today. And honestly, I don't see us winning tomorrow, but I hope we do. Throw to first. 1 away. Astros got blasted. Well, that's good. Phillies wax text. Oh, that's good. But hey, fuck it. If we lost, let's bring everyone down with us, right? If we're going to have some misery tonight because of Paul, right, then as long as the Ranger fans are in misery too, then we're fine. We just want to make sure that, if we lose, the Rangers lose. We don't want to lose and then, have our heart broken and then have the Rangers keep winning and catching up. So they got to give the Yankees credit. They balled out today. Juan Soto with 2 home runs, Aaron Judge with a home run, Verdugo with a home run. And you got to think, out of the 4 home runs, 3 of them were 2-run home runs, backs. That doesn't happen to the Mariners at all. This is like probably the first time all year that's happened to us. So, and we're on the road, and we won the first 2 games. It was meant to be. Pitch is outside. Oh, they called that a strike. 0-2 count, behind in the count for Haniger. Yep, that is true. That is true. Big swing and a miss. Struck him back. There goes Hanny. Come on, Hanny. I need the old Hanny, not this Hanny. This Hanny's a bad Hanny. I need the good one. Damn it. Next up, left fielder, Luke Raley. Come on, Luke. Well, to be fair, Megan, anybody can beat the White Sox. They're like the worst team in baseball. Hell, you could probably have a team that's half blind beat the fucking White Sox. And there it is. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to the New York Yankees. Final score, Yankees 7, Mariners 3. First 2 games, not just first game of the series. We won the first 2. Come on, Paul. Are you a Mariner fan or a Yankee fan? Come on, Paul. Paul doesn't even know how many games that we've won in the series. Come on, Paul. Golly. Talk about bad timing. Jeez. But we got a game tomorrow, but again, I'm not going to be streaming the game because it's going to be on at 9:30. So that way I can, cry in my own tears if we end up losing. But again, we will be doing the Edmonton Oilers versus the Dallas Stars. I believe the game is on at 5 tomorrow, so we'll end up doing that. But I will be watching the game in the morning. I'll take Paisley on an early walk, and me and Paisley will be watching this one together. We're good. It's all good. And again, it was expected that we were going to lose with this shitty lineup, as well as Bryce has been struggling. And you knew, at some point, if Aaron Judge and Juan Soto haven't homered, and it's a 4-game series, you're not going to go 4 games without either one of those guys. More than likely, one or both are going to get hot at some point against one of the pitchers or multiple. So, congratulations to the Yankees with that 7-3 shellacking. Hopefully that's good. Hopefully that'll carry over till tomorrow. But I will be watching. I will be messaging you, Reflect. You too, man. Congratulations on your epic sweep for you and Sarah beating up on those Orioles. Do that shit again. Keep doing it. Keep beating up on those American League teams for the Mariners. We appreciate it very much. Well, I need to go take Paisley for a walk and make sure that everything is good with her. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.